And now it is. Technical difficulties. Are they really technical? Sometimes. Are they difficulties? Depends on how you view it. It's learning the steps and the ropes. It's really important to understand this. It really, really is. So as we wait for people to enter the room, hello. Apparently Spirit thought it was cute to have you see me get ready for the show. Give you some hope maybe? I don't know. But just prior to that, I was watching a I was watching some people on a video. Spirit got my attention, and the topic was about emotions. And how do you cope with devastation? How do you cope with loss? How do you cope? And that's the biggest thing I talked about, is that you don't have to sit there and just cope. You're learning and teaching and yourself and your kids and family and friends that there is a different way to show up. You don't have to be in misery. You don't have to be fearful. You don't have to be any of these things. And you can learn how to become a spiritual human. So I said, okay, Spirit, what do I need to do? And I'm watching, and without knowing all of the information, all the factors, all of the stuff, ego just wanted to say, wow, look at their numbers. It's jumping up to, it was just like jumping. Tons of people coming in, not asking for reading, but wanting to just listen to these two women talk about, and their glitch. Oh, they had glitches. They couldn't, it's not just me, thank goodness. It is the communications, it is the alignments, and it's all of these factors, but that they were talking about emotions. And I thought, my ego wants to, well, what do they got that I don't got? And then I just like really, all of a sudden, spiritually, I'm like, I'm hearing my ego talk. I'm hearing how it's like comparing. And I'm like, no, you don't have all the factors. You don't have all the information. Strangely enough, I keep hearing this loud pitch all of a sudden. I don't know what that is. So, what do you need to know? What do you need to learn? What do we want to talk about? I want to be able yes, I want people to understand that their emotions have everything to do with going on in their life and that you can do something about it. You really can. But as I'm listening to this program, they weren't really giving any information about how to heal it, about what to do. They were just having a discussion about how devastating life can be and how people are trolls and how do they handle it? Well, they were just talking about how much it hurt and how it did make a difference, and that they looked at things and then they just opened their heart and they heard Spirit and then they felt better. And it's like, that's one way. So I actually did hear to some degree, but the discussion. And what I noticed is, who am I really supposed to be talking to about all of this information? And so it's about lining up to what is your purpose? Where are you supposed to be going? Trusting the process. So emotions, sometimes I feel like my talking, people don't like it. Or sometimes my talking is over their head. Or sometimes my talking is, just get on with it already. And it's like, I can feel certain things. So why do we feel and react a certain way? How do we just change by frequencies? And how do we get in the line? So I just had this important thing where this person was feeling, I can feel their energy leaving me. I can feel it. What am I doing wrong? And in some cases, it's not something about what you're doing wrong. Sometimes it is about just them. So I'm asking Spirit, all right, let's help this person. What is going on? And one of the things that I got that was going on was sometimes we talk to feel better. Right? Would you say that? Hello, everybody. Sometimes we talk to feel better. What does that mean? If we were to chat, fine. But what if you're angry? What if your ex just gets you and you just want to scream and holler and you make that a habit screaming and hollering every day. You make that a habit. What does that even mean? You know, what does it mean? Sometimes if you end up getting so mad at your ex and you don't realize your thoughts become things, that if you make the person you love that's sitting right next to you to becoming second best, that makes them come second best, what happens? What really happens when you know? And so if they're venting, as Michelle said, so let's look at this again. Venting. You're talking, you're venting, you're getting it out. Now that is really good because chemical peptides need to go somewhere. And if you don't, you can suppress them, store them, and they can build up into vibrations that are off that can cause you ills later. Okay, sometimes you have anxiety. Sometimes it just show up as a, you know, sometimes depression. What's happening? Venting. You have to get it out. But if you're doing it and your total focus on venting is 24/7, what does that mean? It means the people in the room, you're bleeding on them. Do you understand what I mean? Ames, you understand what I mean by that? Because if you're venting and you're talking and you're just having a negative mindset with a negative response, that vibration out there can change and morph people you love into something you don't want them to become. Isn't that right, Amy?
Yep.
Okay, so when you allow yourself to know, that's interesting. Huh. Never understand. Yes, I will. Cancel. When you start saying something out of flippant language, like I'll never understand, because I'm trying to figure out why YouTube's doing this. Yes, you can. Or are you? Where are you supposed to be? But the thing is when you say that, what did you say to the universe? I don't really care to understand, even though you're frustrated. It's another way of talking yourself out of venting or moving in that direction. But is it healthy? Is it safe? No, not really. You're just training the universe to make it more complicated for yourself. Thank you for the information. Okay, I'll get this. Instead of words of encouragement, we give ourselves words of, I don't know what. What kind of words are we giving ourselves? You know, a false pep talk?
Yeah.
False self-assuredness? To help us cope with a particular feeling? Yes.
To help cope with feelings or pain or...
Yeah. And here's the thing. When we don't understand what we're doing, sometimes our words are going out there. That leads to taking your inner world creature out of them. And what does that mean? And that means you're going to draw people and experiences and stories to take you to a different place. That could be things you don't want. Because if you're like, oh my God, you know, like you're happy, and then this troll starts setting you on fire, your personal power, that twang, a feeling, anything other than love, the ego's got your attention. Okay, and you can't help but stop looking at the experience. And so then if you start to respond, even just that slightest twang, you're giving away your personal power. You're losing power. Do people understand that? You just gave, no matter if it's a person, place, thing, idea, news, TV, your power. Amy, does that make sense to you?
What I caught, yes.
Okay, she's busy. I will let her stay busy. You can go ahead and mute. I just feel like I need to have a conversation with somebody.
Okay.
That's happening.
I'll have a conversation with you.
All right, well, focus on getting it out there. That's good. So people in the room, chat with me. You know, come chat with me. Because venting is important. We want that. We want to be able to vent. We don't want to be able to hold it in. Is that what happens? What happens when we hold it in, people? Really think about this. What's that?
You get sick?
Yes. Do people know this? Do people really know that they get sick? Okay. It's like taking a pop and put one of those fuzzy things in, tapping it and shaking it up, and it's trying to hold it all in, and it's going to burst, and then eventually it's poof, okay? But it's got to go somewhere. So if you don't start losing your shit on people, you know, the last straw makes you go there. Oh, good. Jennifer says, absolutely understand this. Did it yesterday, but at least I recognize. Why is that important that Jennifer recognizes? Because her spirit self is saying, wait, I don't really have to, because she's starting to learn, I don't really have to respond that way, lose my power in the first place. Okay, that's very good. Yes, she says we hold on to it and get sick. Yes. And those are the what's called experiences. But do we have to? No. But sometimes we feel victimized. Sometimes we feel that we have no choice. Sometimes we feel that these sicknesses in our bodies, you know, we're doomed. But sometimes we just have to feel it to heal it. And if you just feel it to heal it without using another tool, then you're only firing and wiring your brain. Can everybody understand this? Okay? Because listen to this. Your brain has a left hemisphere and a right hemisphere. And when the left hemisphere takes over, it goes emergency, 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 negative, 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 because that's what it's supposed to do. Right brain is supposed to be all things good, everything's happy, blah, blah, blah. When the energies in the brain is out, you can have a whole heap of shit going on in your life, but it also can show you that there is where your energy's lost, where it's taken, where it's excessive, where it's deficient, where it's being a bully. Everything you see out here with people is actually what's going on in here. If you feel like, because the energies of mother and child is that, or parent and child, is the parent is supporting. But what if that parent is smothering, giving too much energy? What if the parent is giving way too much energy that it's dominating? So it depends on the flow. Same for the child. The child pushes back and has rebel, or it sucks the mother dry because it's dependent on it. So you can actually see the stories of human life inside your body, and you can learn how to read it. That's what I do. But I also know how to correct it. So when you're holding your forehead and you're covering up this little point on top of your head and getting your hairline, you're actually showing how to use your innate healing abilities. What is the innate healing abilities? That intelligence that's within you. It is who you really are. It is tapping into that blueprint of health. But we don't believe it because we're attached to an experience. Yeah. Amy says you can cause cancer, diabetes, etc. by helping into your emotions. And she should know. We've been working on things, and she's starting to really know the difference between, do I really want this emotion? And she can feel it in the body. She's when we're doing hope therapy together, she's like, oh my God, she can hear the chatter, bitching, or it's attacking, but at the same time, she feels it somewhere in the body as a sensation, as a pain, a twang. And lo and behold, it's like as soon as she starts to release it, what happens, Aim?
That feeling goes away.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It does.
And not only will it go away, but does it really come back as the original?
No.
Oh, wait. What does that mean, Amy?
That means that you've healed that piece of the puzzle out.
And if it sounds like it comes back to the same, oh, it came back. You then have to begin to learn to know the difference. Because it's not the same, it's a layer. It's all the stuff you fed into it to make it real, to keep it as proof. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. It's like an onion.
Exactly. Good. Like an onion. Like an onion.
Many layers.
Yes, there are. And so, like, I will tell all of a sudden, my pilot class is my crew now. My crew, my interns, that it's like a spider web. Okay, we create it, and then it has tentacles, and then it creates more spider webs. It sounds creepy, but the only way that I can tell you energetically is that here's a grid, and then sometimes you cross over into a different dimensional alignment or a lower frequency, and or so it's an endless amount of how I want to put words, but it is that's what I see, because we can be on this main grid together, and then all of a sudden I can see how it breaks off and you've created your own reality. And then I see how it picks up and creates with somebody else. It's like, oh, to which avenue do I want to look down? Usually it's just within yourself. So when you begin to feel off, what were you just thinking? What is your body doing? How is it responding? Did you morph into somebody else today? Okay, so let's talk more about it. How do you handle, on an average day response, how do you handle when somebody hurts your feelings? Let's just look at that. Vicki likes my intense colors. My bright colors, yes. I forgot I can put these two colors together. What is this? Yeah, see, it's interesting because I don't know why this shirt is made that way, but I wouldn't mind that on the outside. I could wear it backwards, inside out. Nobody knows, right?
Nobody would know the difference. No. It's interesting because I have you on Zoom, and then I have you on Facebook, and your sweater on Zoom is like a teal color, and on Facebook it's blue.
Yeah, I don't understand these color things, but that's okay. So I have no idea what it looks like on you. What you see, what you get. Ah, Shelly says we hold it in. Okay, very good. Yes. What do we do? How do we cope, handle, deal, and pacify?
Oh, spin yourself or spotlight yourself.
I can't seem to do it. It's only when you have other people, because I can pin the video, but it won't let me spotlight. So even if I go like this, still don't give me the option. So that's why one of the features I don't like about Zoom right now is that I can't control. So they think you're running the show and hosting the show and doing the show, and it's like, no, because you're just sitting there sometimes.
There, I can do that.
I suppose I could deal with that. Reminds me of, oh, sorry, you'll have to deal with these emotions or this picture because we're having technical difficulty again. Okay, let's get back to this. So, how do you cope, handle, deal, and pacify? I want you to do more than that, but let's first discover how you do it. Because if you don't become aware of how you do it, hold it in. Very good. When someone hurts my feelings, I stop and ask why. Good. We do that. We do ask why. But if we're asking out of ego and we're answering out of ego, what's going to happen? Okay. Just keep that in mind. Oh, yes. Today is Thursday. Today means I usually expend more energy. So yes, thank you, Dale, for bringing that up. The cost is different. Yes, it is. Good job. Very good. It is. I cry sometimes. Yeah, because what happens there is like it's like a really deep shock. Happy birthday! I think it's your birthday, isn't it, Marty? I think it's your birthday. Anyways, you hold it in, and it will trip a nerve. What will it do? Your body will create these chemical peptides. Okay, when I talk about chemical peptides, it's an emotional chemical peptide. The more experiences you've had with it, sometimes it can be a very deep response, quick and deep response, or the very first time you've experienced it can wham you into shock, which then can trip your nervous system to be in hysteria. And that is where you feel happy one minute, negative the next. But what happens to the thoughts? Okay, that's the one thing I want you to understand. Emotions and thoughts. What does it do? Now I would put Amy in the spot, but I won't. But
Thank you.
what does it do? One of the things it does is that your thoughts are normal, you're shocked, you have an experience, immediately what you think, you create and feel. It's a whole bunch of chemistry that starts happening. And if it is the first time, it can be hysteria. And what will happen with the 41 thoughts per minute? What happens to the 41 thoughts per minute that can be thinking about anything and all things?
They start changing.
How? You become like a deer in a headlight. Those 41 thoughts per minute will end up being on the same subject, the same feeling, the same story, and it's on. It's like a what do you call it? A speed train. It's on it. It's just it's heading down the track. What does it do to your mindset? Okay, alpha, beta, theta, delta. No, it goes into from beta to high beta, and then it's hard to get your shit out of that space. You can't stop thinking about it. Your emotions go ape shit. They're all over the place. It goes down to the first, second, and third chakra and start collecting data. Oh, I remember that time. I remember that. But you don't realize it's always about the first event. But it always sounds like it's in the moment of now of whoever it is. Okay. Yes, I love Amanda's. Shut down, get angry, defense. Defense. We don't realize it. The moment we lose, and we have a twang, and this is what I tell the interns, they have a twang. What comes next? And defense. Safety, security, stability. Joy's out the window. Self-preservation. What do I do? How do I do it? How do I make it stop? Do I pull my love back? Do I have to sit there and self-justify for my thing? Is the person that's talking to me making me feel like shit? Are they doing, what do you call it, gaslighting? Are they doing this narcissistic way? And then our defense can get more messed up because we're trying to defend ourselves, but yet at the same time, what's happening with the energy? Lofty energy, attacking energy, beating us down, but it's the loss of power. And some people thrive on, see your loss of power and taking it. And going to use it anyway because you won't. I sat into I don't know what I thought. I was teaching, and my students were all around. And it got towards the night, probably about 6 remained. And so we're just still chatting, and there was 3 women. They're all friends, and they're all excited because their main chief, the one that they would put up on a pedestal as their friend, the smart one, the one that solves all their problems. And I can't remember what I said. And the next thing you know, the girl responded, well, I'm going to take their energy because they're not going to use it anyway. And they're just not going to, just the way that I just take it because they give it and they're not going to use it. So I use it. And the words, I can't even remember all the words. But it was the shock on those 2 women's faces when they realized that their friend was intentionally doing it. Well, they're not friends today, but not that I caused it. It's just that they had an eye-opening experience. Oh, I love what Jennifer says. She says, where is it coming? Where's the hurt coming from? Why am I feeling it? Very good. These are questions we do ask ourselves. It is good. Brittany says, I'm learning to speak up, but I will disconnect from the person or problem. Exactly, because that's part of our defense mechanism. Brittany says, I've had a bad habit of living in my head and not being present. Excellent. Excellent, because what happens? The program, the pain takes over. Ego takes over, shuts down your higher self, shuts down who you are, and says, oh my God, this is so real, sever, 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 and that's what happens. So she's been doing work. Excellent, Brittany, excellent. Oh, I know what she meant, but I'm not going to put that because I would either shut down or come out fighting. But the typing is interesting. Shit down. But not to make fun, but she's a comedian, so I just throw it back at her. Okay, so what else is going on? So what do we do? Good. So begin to know your pattern. Why? Why is it important to begin to know the pattern? Amy, now I will throw her on the spot. Why?
So that you can start putting the pieces together to figure out why you have that particular pattern.
Yeah, so if you become aware, you'll learn to stop doing it and you'll begin to catch yourself. So sometimes people will go weeks, months. Do you want to know where a temperament comes from? Well, all right, she's got a bad temperament. She's angry all the time. Do you want to know where that comes from? Just think about it. So when you are young, you got angry. And then after a few minutes, if you haven't learned to let it go, then it becomes a mood swing. Then it becomes an attitude. And it can eventually lead to a temperament. What does that mean? It means that you have one hell of a long response, a hell of a long mood swing. You haven't gotten over it. And some people will even say it's just as fresh as it happened, as if it happened yesterday. I was watching Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the movie, and they found a typed letter that he was talking about. His feelings are just as raw as they were when it happened. And then it's like, wow, that is very good proof. If people could understand this, what happens is there's a certain amount of your life force that's attached to that experience that keeps it alive. You've said yes, but you accept it. You believe, so you're investing. But what are you investing? Your willpower. And then we have all of these things. How do I react? How do I save myself? How do I change? If you don't like me and that hurts me that you hate me, well, who would you like if I did? So then we change ourselves. And we morph into things that maybe we don't want to morph into. Or we change ourselves from they hate me because I'm so shy. Fine, I'll cut that out and I will become something else. What will they accept? Oh, if I was a giver, or if I was a caregiver, if I had to do this. Oh, very good. Amanda says, then I question if I'm projecting. Now, Amanda, what do you mean by projecting? Because that is what we want to define. So we're going to define some words. Jennifer says, you are going through a huge awakening. You're almost there. It's pretty cool. I received this message for you. Ooh. Very good. I'm not sure if it's me or who, but and the thing is that when you do have an awakening, every single day when I help my students, my tribal members, we're getting there. We're doing little things. What are we doing? We're helping each other wake up. And if you can understand the difference between an ego mindset and a spiritual mindset, and then learn how you do the ego mindset, you can actually start to disrupt the program. You can use healing tools. The biggest thing is that when you are emotionally freaking upset, you place your hand here. Why is that? OMG, a very simple. Why does it work?
I know.
Do tell, Amy.
Because 80% of your blood leaves your forebrain when you go into fight, flight, freeze. Putting your hand on your forehead like that will bring the blood back up and you can start thinking again.
Yes. Very good. She has been learning. And the simple tool of the hairline in that point, you are an electromagnetic being. You have blood flow. You have vascular systems. When you do this, you're helping yourself. What's the frontal lobe do, Amy? Do you remember that one?
It creates reality.
Very good. And the left side of the frontal lobe is where the happiest place is if we were to develop it. And what? Okay, so they took these monks and they had these monks think about love, compassion, and all of this. And they took the brain scans. What they found out is the left side of the brain, that left part of that frontal lobe, lit up. And then there were monks that had they got to be the happiest little monks on earth, is that they were saying. And it was this every time, it was that frontal part when they thought about compassion. So I would so love to have my brain scan, just let me know. Or finding out where my emotions are. I think that would be awesome. No, let's see here. Brittany says, I realized I depend on my masculine energy to survive. Ooh. So instead of taking control and being dominant, I'm going with the flow and surrendering, connecting with my emotions. Excellent, excellent. And slowly but surely, you're going to get where you need to go. Dale says, I was taught it was Reiki energy, that all I have is intuitive in nature. Reiki is a connection, and the symbols is a way to communicate, because sometimes our frequency strength is not quite strong. So if your power versus force, if your power, which is a healthy power, is 500 hertz, which is love and above, that's great. You can flow through. But some people that are below that get Reiki attunements. And what that does is that it can help push aside, because when you're doing Reiki, you don't force it, you don't direct it, you don't, you can help guide it, you can listen and follow and learn how to communicate that way. But if you're trying to take over, then sometimes it just won't work. But if you were to allow yourself for the energy to be this conduit and this channel, it doesn't matter what kind of frequency your body's holding, what your mindset's holding, where you're at on the scale of your level of consciousness, you can begin to help heal others. Now, touch for health. If you understand exactly where to touch and to hold and all this, is still going to create an innate healing response. You're tapping into that intelligence. Same for Reiki. You're tapping into the intelligence, okay? The reconnection is this energy that doesn't need you at all, doesn't have to have any attunements, but a certain way of holding your hands, you can actually begin to get into the field. As you get into the field, you begin to feel how it's alive, how the intelligence is alive. And that reconnection is connecting the meridians as above as so below, Mother Earth, Father Sky. And when you get that flow and you learn to get the energies moving with the flow, you can actually begin to see how the body, starts to heal itself. You're tapping into the nervous system. You're tapping into the communications, okay? But it ends up ultimately being the innate intelligence, if that makes sense. Now, remember to love, and you may get a card. Share, you may get a card. Depends on how spirit, I've lost my screen. There it is. So understanding, how do we feel? How do we do it? Now, we talked about how do you recognize it? Have you ever tested the power? Meaning, where am I at on the scale of the level of consciousness? Because you can test it in because I like to test and measure. You can test and measure, and depends on which angle you're coming from. Doing this by holding the two hands facing each other to feel the heat between. Oh, yes. Yeah. So if this is a reconnection, okay, that's one. And see, I can, the farther away I go, the stronger it actually gets. Okay. And you really can begin to feel the difference of forces. And when you listen, you can hear the twangs. And there's a C. That's a D and a G. Yeah, it's coming that close. Now, if I'm just going to do Reiki and not the reconnection, so I have like, I don't know, 20 different types of attunements, but what it boils down to is energy. Okay, so if you really don't feel it, you can get going and create a friction, and you create electromagnetic flow. And then you can begin to feel it. You can then start to roll it into a ball. And then that ball can get heavy. And you can begin to feel it, literally, if you just allow yourself to play. Like eventually, with people, I used to just throw the ball, and they can be thousands of miles away, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my God, I felt something. And usually we'll put a burst of color with it so we can practice. And then they would throw it back. Eventually, you can begin to feel. If you make it like clay. You can do a lot of things because all you're doing is transforming it into whatever you want. So if I wanted to put a big ball of love with the intention going out, some of you may, and if I get a response later, some of you may have been open to the shape I just sent going out into the universe. It's fun. It's good because sometimes I'll have an ache and pain. All I have to do is well, depends on who you studied from, what's going on. So now I don't even place my hands on me. I just feel the activation, and then I go in and I tap into the innate by using source points. That quick, I can make a headache go away, correct my breathing. If I've got certain emotions that are stuck, I can let it go. If my body's not digesting correctly, I can help support that. So I love doing source point for that. Emotions, on the other hand, it's about taking and holding that point on the oh my God can start with Hope Therapy, because I'm using the pulse of the meridians to tap on something on a very deeper level. Then that is what we can do also, because the Hope Therapy really, Amy, what makes the difference between thinking in your head and Hope Therapy? What have you noticed?
The thoughts change when you're using Hope Therapy.
Ooh, and that's because you are addressing the emotion.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see, like, for instance, you putting your hand here and then adding a point on your wrist, there is a significant difference because one, it will calm you down. Two, it will make you not only calm down, but it can help shift your thinking altogether and help clear out of your meridians, as well as it helps increase your growth in your level of consciousness, meaning chakras, first, second, third, and all that, if that makes any sense. Okay. Will you type my husband and say, I need hot water for coffee? See if he will. All right. So I feel like I need a format, and I can't ever tell who's here and how many people are not here. So numbers are not the thing, except for why is it? Now, I have been addressing an issue, an issue about my life, because I've noticed that it's like a particular pattern. How do I communicate with people? Well, I figured out how to do this. Chronologically aged. Oh, God, love you. Thank you. Thank you. So either he heard or he read it. So thank you. Because I was shy and everybody hated it, I ended up cutting a piece of me out. And I watch a lot of you do that. And it's time that we learn to reclaim and bring yourself back home. But if it doesn't feel safe to be in your home, it's because you're still having emotions dislodge parts of yourself. We will put on mask. We will create a false persona. Doesn't mean that it's bad. I've learned by helping others, it helped me connect with people so they wouldn't get down my throat because I'm shy. And it helped me develop who I am with being with my big heart. And I can get closer to people, and it fills the primal need of bonding. But because I still had an unfinished issue and the root was still there, I would get people that would take advantage of me. I would deprive myself because I feel like that was the right thing to do. And when I started to wake up, with my spiritual authenticity and notice how I can listen with my spiritual mindset at the ego mindset of what life is like. So I'm looking at the lens, through the lens, more appropriately. It was like, whoa. It was so so your inner world creates your outer world. As I began to notice that, like, I wouldn't be anybody's friend. I wouldn't go and talk to them first because I didn't want to be shot down. And so if you came to me, chances are you wanted to talk to me, and that was good. But I still had more issues. Like my sister, I developed with my sister is that she'll throw me under the bus as long as it makes her look good, or it'll be, you know, me, and it's like I didn't have a voice. I love you, thank you very much. I'm gonna get my vitamin C. God love that dude. I know it looks like Mountain Dew, but it's vitamin C. So it gets complicated, but if you take it one chunk at a time, this is why your soul loves to work on the main thing that's disrupting your world. And Michelle, when we can begin to help you, it'll be, what is it your ego is focusing on? Where is the main loss of power? So when you can move in the direction you need to move in. See, I love this. We can actually heal, just got to go back. Now, Tammy says, I feel like you're describing the old me and all my old programming. Yes, because we have that blueprint that is the same. To some degree, it is how we have the same. This is why we need to talk about it, because most people don't realize that, oh my God, these programs exist. You know, I just thought it was just me. But the more we can begin to understand how we created our personalities and all these other things, that is fine. That is great. We can start looking at it. But if ego is just trying to find a minion buddy, what do I mean by minion buddy, Amy?
Minion buddies are people that you draw to yourself so that they can be like your yes men or women.
That's correct. I'm hurt. Amy, oh my God, you should have seen what Michelle did. Oh, she's such a bitch, isn't she? Oh my God, oh my God. You know, and so if you're in a drama type of personality and not know it, then you're going to try to soothe yourself of your hurts and pains by creating a minion buddy. So you're going to find fault, point out stuff that maybe not real, enhance it, exacerbate it, make it bigger than what it is. And then you're going to try to convince somebody else to feel your pain. And if somebody morphs easy, then you got a minion buddy.
Hello.
And to answer some of the people that were in the academy, Medicine Woman Solution Academy, if you are feeling a certain way and your buddy is a morpher, they will try to solve your problems for you because they feel your pain and they want you not to be in pain, and they'll morph. They literally will morph. Timestamp that just so they know. And so when they do, they got this vibration that they've got to correct it for you. But then there are some people that do it because they want accolades. I hate being a morpher because all of a sudden it's like, I just want this to stop. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try to solve the problem. I'm going to try to correct it. I'm just going to, because I got to make them shut up. Amy's going, oh.
There are times where I can't read the Academy feed because I will morph.
Yeah, and see, Amy's like, God dang it, I want to connect with people, but I can't morph. I don't want to morph. I don't know how. I gotta. She loves people.
Exactly.
But she's learning that she's a morpher big time, and she has no clue. She's learning now. Because she'll like,
I had no clue before.
What's that?
I had no clue before, and there are times still that you tell me that one night I had a session with you, and you told me I was 3 different people, and I'm like, what the hell?
But did you see it?
I saw it after you told me, but
we think this is who we are. We really think this is who we are. We get caught up in other people's stories, and we get caught up, and it's because our first and second and third chakra are going, oh, I know that experience. Oh, or, it is, oh my God, I can't stand this. This is where the level of intolerance, your tolerance build up. Bam, bam, bam. You're like, oh my God, just make it stop. Or you just want to be liked. It depends on, and there's so many different rays on this kaleidoscope of life, this perspective, and we have these kaleidoscopes to learn. But when we become all those aspects of these parts, you kind of just become an ego mindset person. You don't realize that your authentic self is like, I'll come back, I promise. But your authentic self says, I'm right here when you're ready. You come back when you're done. I'll connect with you. And you have no idea that your whole creating your reality is everything but what you want. Yes, Brittany says, I've been telling people it's not my business. Okay, it's and it's none of our business what other people think of us or what's going on. Okay, if you can get in and to help people, but you show up in a different way, then you can. That's why it's always best to be the mentor. You have to be okay to lose your family and friends, because some people don't want their shit resolved. It is like, let me cry, goddammit, because that's my personality. What the hell is that? Anyway, you have to begin to notice. You have to begin to notice. And it's not about putting blame. Now, I see a lot of people saying, oh my God, I just took on them. It's their fault. No, you still have to take quite a bit of responsibility for why it was easy for you to get hooked to them in the first place. And it'll be because usually you have cut pieces of yourself out. And that is another big jump that you have to do. Okay, you really, really have to do this. So again, if you want a reading, 1 minute reading, if you want to more of a reading, then that's the cost, because I will expend and look at the healing aspect of what you really need to heal, not just the answer that you want to hear, or that, well, I won't tell you what you want to hear. I'll tell you what Spirit wants you to know. I like what Brittany says, is don't let other people tell you right from wrong. Find your own truth and answers. Asking for advice gives your energy away, gives your power away, because it confirms that you feel incomplete. Let's take it the next step further, Brittany. When you become more of your spiritual self, you're going to become to understand the right and wrong that we end up becoming as a child. It sculpts us to who we are. And then it'll make us question things, bad things. Oh, it must be my fault. Or if you're a type of person that always blames yourself, it's my fault. If you want certain things to stop, then you will take on this fault. But what does it do? You've still given your power away. If you're asking for advice, that means you don't know how to come in tune with your heart. And you're afraid that if I make the wrong answer, somebody's going to come and bite me in the ass. Somebody's going to hurt me. Because you've had it once, you didn't resolve it, and it just keeps coming up. Why? Because the soul is asking, can you heal it now? Can you heal it now? How about now? And the more you don't know that you're supposed to heal it, the more you'll collect evidence, proof, shove it back down, hardwire your brain to be more in that hell because you didn't use the tool to process it out. And what do you do? What do you do? So you're constantly accepting, giving your willpower away, and it's reinforced by your beliefs. If you really want to dive into, notice how your belief system is. Notice how the twangs are. Yeah, because you will balance yourself out if you allow yourself to become more of a spiritual human. Trauma bonding. Holy crap. We all got to get off that roller coaster. Drama feeders. Good one. We have to stop doing that. Trauma bonding. Oh my God. It can be the best relationship of love, but what if one wants to grow out of trauma or the drama bonding? You will become the enemy, because how dare you grow without me? I thought you loved me. that's a whole nother story, because the relationship to which you based your relationship on is never supposed to change. And if that person can't grow with you, then you're going to have to start trying. Why am I so crooked? Like way crooked here. You got to change from that. You really do. I really like that. Trauma bonding fellers, drama feeders. When you wake up from being a mini, it's like, I agree with you. But if they're starting to get you to do what they themselves won't do, like, I don't know if you've ever watched Netflix, but there's a show called The Worst Witch, and the blonde-haired girl on there that's supposed to play, I'm the smartest out of them all. And then, but she uses everybody. Oh, you be my friend. Oh, I need you to go steal something from me. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to punch her. Why? Because I recognized, oh shit, do I have some twangs going on? Oh, F me. No, cancel. I'm so proud I can feel this. Yeah, where it is. Yeah, who did that? If that show is showing me something, or the people in your life right now are showing me something, where did I first see this? Where did I first disagree with it? Where did I first that first twang? That is the rawness. That is the freshness. That is going back to feel it, to heal it. And if you can get in there, either EFT, put your hand on your forehead, which is the, oh my God, do hope therapy, surf sport, whatever, you'll be amazed at how much your inner world changes. And you'll start getting your power back. And it's not that I have to control myself. I have to put down boundaries, and that's that. And I have to get angry. That's false boundaries. That's false, because you're not really healing the root or developing past your arrested development. Whoops, it just jumped. No, I lost the whole screen. Oh, very good. Observe, stop absorbing. When we wanted to feel and understand things, we were meant to absorb so we can feel it. But when we got caught up and became our story, then we lose power. James says, in contact with my life, but it seems to me that the world around me thinks that's my life has to be judged or painful in order to get what I want. Yes, see this, good. You can see it. Okay. When you begin to understand judgment versus discernment, the blowing of the mind, like, oh my God. And I will say, we go in there and we condemn ourselves and get mad at ourselves, but that's all ego play. You've got to really get in and define the ego mindset and the spiritual mindset. And when you start to define those, it's not about not being accountable. You learn how to be accountable. You learn how to be the cause and effect. And so when your inner world starts producing people to judge you and cause pain, you have to look back further. Where did you even learn that? We did as a kid. It goes back to the first. When we were born, we had no idea. Oh, I'm hungry as we come out of the womb. We don't even know what the hell that is. We just know it's a sensation, a motivation, a pull, determination, whatever it is, because the frontal part of your life is meant to, oh, you're thirsty. Okay, you're hungry. When they did lobotomies, you scrape that frontal part of the lobe because, it's supposed to help you stop forgetting all the misery and the pain that you are, but it also stopped you from creating a future, knowing when you're hungry. So you just go off and die. They have found, I think it was baby animals that they started with. If that baby didn't cry, it had no survival mechanism. So it was like, okay, and it just would die. Part of that inner pain is to help motivate you to survive. But I want you to do more than just survive. I want you to thrive, which then you're becoming more of who you're meant to become. Does this make sense? So without that inner child urge to, what is that sensation? Oh, you don't know what it is. So you start discovering, I'll smile. Nope, still have that there. I fart. Nope, still have that there. May have had some relief, but still that there. And then all of a sudden you start to cry. And then you scream. If you have to get to a blood-curdling scream to get them out, we just programmed, and our subconscious mind says, hey, look at this. Here's the sensation. And it got answered by screaming. Now your brain says, I have to do this every time. Okay? Now, as you get older, stop screaming, just ask me. You begin to notice there's different languages, okay? But that's still there. So down the road, children are the narcissistic ones of all, because they're developing empathy, they're developing love, they're developing all of this, but they just know that there's a sensation. But when they get their eyes set on a particular outcome, and they don't know how to change their behavior, which is where we need to step in and learn how to teach them tools. Hands on the forehead will be your biggest one. just put your hand on your head and sit in the corner, because it'll help change that frontal lobe without having to do lobotomize them or cut, squash their spirit or not. And it's helping them to change, to get out of fight, flight, freeze, helping them to get out of stress, to letting spirit in so they can hear the thoughts. Why? Because when you're in high beta, your thoughts are going nuts, your emotions are going nuts. You can't think your way out of a paper bag. You can use logic the best you can to narrow it in and point, saying blame, and this is how I'm going to get it. Da, 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 da. Hand on the head, calms the thoughts down. Calms the emotions down. Why? The emotions get calmed first, then the thoughts change. Then what? Then all of a sudden, you can think, you get connected more to your authentic self, more to your heart. And if you can get yourself out of that and put your hand on your heart and ask your heart the question, it may tell you no. Now, that's how I start to find my authentic self. I really need to go shopping today. No, I really don't. I'm so angry. No, I'm really not angry. I'm just can't get the outcome I want. Why can't I get the outcome I want? Because I don't know how. I'm in Arrested Development. I don't know how to. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. That's what I always say. Thank you, Spirit. Show me how. Help me develop. Show me how. And all of a sudden it'll just light up, or I'll be guided. And you're going to go, oh, that was cool. But our ego will put us back to sleep, put us back to our programs. So like James says, it's painful in order to get what you want. It's like, has to be judged. He can see this particular program, and how can you stop it? What would I do? Feel the pain. I want what I want. Okay. Learning to ask yourself, the pain, is anything less love? If you were to heal that out, that particular pain, and you know that there's something you want. Okay, I still need this. That's fine. But do you have to have everybody judge you every time? I mean, that was your younger days. So whatever you're seeing here, whatever show you're watching, whatever people you're doing, they're just standing in for the originals. Today's show, your mom is standing in, or this person is standing in for your mom. Can you understand that? They're a substitute. Because you're going back as that active memory or that particular program. And if you can just say, oh my God, I'm working my shit out with this person and my shit started here. It's a moment you became less than love and you missed the mark. And you've been trying to find how to make that connection happen. Well, now you've built up. You got to get rid of all those emotions that, you don't stuff them. God, no. You don't kick them out. No. You allow yourself to use tools. Recognize the emotion. Is it really it? You can only pick 5. But there's lots. Defining, am I really mad? Because I'll be like, I'm so mad. No, you're not. And when all of a sudden, my heart says, no, you're not, you just convince yourself because that's how you logically got there is in your high beta. Oh, yeah, no, you're not. It's just that I didn't get what I want. And have I learned how to feel and manage and cope and deal and resolve for that I wasn't supposed to get it now? Because my whole process afterwards was, oh, divine timing. Not today, young lady. Divine timing. I've been being sculpted for this moment since and I swear I've been sculpted this moment because it was last year or a year and a half ago that Spirit says, now, you've been waiting, young lady, you've been asking, now. I'm like, now, what do I gotta do? What? Go live. I don't have a computer. What do I do? Just ask us. All right, I need these things. Thank you very much. And the next thing you know, today I had no computers. Now I've got a laptop, an iPad, and one main computer. I have another computer for backup if necessary. And they're pretty good shit because I've upgraded the laptop, I've upgraded the computer, and then Amy gave me her old iPad, which is an upgrade from the other one that was older. So it's like, and then guess what, folks? I never had a phone. Now I got a phone. So it's like, technology. But I had to wait until I was called. Okay? Brittany says, I love you, and the expression's good. Because I don't know where they come from sometimes. You do need to grow with each other. And when you stunt yourself, you miss the whole purpose of being on this planet. Because I really thought my ex and me were going to be together forever. And when I had to come to the conclusion, and I realized we're out of sync. We're going to stay out of sync. He says he wants this, but he wants his life to go back. Because when I said, fine, step up, live my life, get to know me. When you told me you didn't want nothing to do with me, it's time. I'm going to walk. Oh, no. So he tried to live my life for a year and a half. I was waiting for that cheetah to run out of gas. You know how fast when a cheetah runs and then they finally tire out? How he did anything is how he does everything. And I knew his program, but I was willing to give him a chance. Why? Because I cared. I loved. I really had this. And then it was, I have to grow. If I was born, why am I staying here just to please him or to have something I think's good when every day I wake up miserable? And when I started to take closure, take my power back, and let Spirit show me a new way of living, oh my God, I am so glad I'm aligned with my joy and my happiness, because I wouldn't trade him for anything. I love this man I'm with. We've been together for about 6 years. Every day we wake up happy. Every day we go to bed happy. There are days we're out of sync. Okay, we're out of sync. We know because it's written in our vows. And so then all of a sudden it's like, we're out of sync. Wait, safety. All of a sudden we both come in alignment because we talked to Spirit. We've healed our shit. And as we heal our shit, we come in alignment. And then we come back together, not on a false hug of, oh, I'm sorry. It is, wow, I didn't like that disconnect. We're back. Yay, we're back online. It's like a great Wi-Fi connection, the best speed you ever had. What? Did you learn your shit? Oh my God, this is what my shit was about. And it was growing together. And I love that man. He just makes me smile. He's got like 40 different nicknames I give him. I don't know. I just love him. Okay, so hopefully you got something out of this discussion. I'm always talking about emotions. Understand how that goes. But then heal out the chemical peptide that caused the thoughts to go crazy, the 41 thoughts to be stuck on the 41 thoughts. The joke used to be, oh, we have 41 thoughts per minute and 38 of them are on sex. Wouldn't it be nice if we just stayed on that? No. Usually we have 41 thoughts and 41 thoughts of hell. Hello? No, thank you. Resolve to evolve. He almost did a deal. Okay? So I'm going to open it up and see if anybody has paid. If not, we're going to start our 1-minute reads. How are you, Amy?
Okay.
Oh, you're giggling. What are we giggling about?
Your 38 thoughts of,
Oh, sex.
yeah.
Well, that's it. Okay, so
I was trying to drink at the same time.
what's that?
And I was trying to swallow at the same time.
Vicky would have a heyday with that one. Just the timing of the words there, just let you know, my friend. Just to let you know. So there's a blooper reel of me and when I did Medicine Woman Reveal. The blooper reel of me and my friend and my husband at the time, and one of them is I can't remember if that made it to video. I can't remember, but it was funny. But yeah, most men think about sex all the time. Oh yeah, those 38 of them at least. Hungry. Sex. Oh, gotta go to the bathroom. Oh, hungry. I can scratch my balls. Ooh, hungry. So there was always this, but I don't think that made it to video, but it was comical when you had 3 people that were just being little nutsoid. Okay. Get it on the right screen. Okay, that's for today. Okay. Aw. Okay, and aw. Thank you, Dale. Okay. Those are 3 great surprises this morning. I'll take them. And I send love back. See, Diana knew that didn't sound right either. Well, I didn't have to emphasize it.
I meant I was trying to take a drink of tea and swallow it at the same time Brenda said that, and I started laughing.
There's something going on. Who is it here? I think it's funny.
Is it me? I don't think so.
All I hear is this great fear of being alone.
Not me. Okay, who's afraid to be alone?
Okay, my body just is somebody this was deep. Okay, so I have to pay attention to that. There was a deep, where's it at? I mean, this was so deep. A fear of being alone. You may not even be aware that you were afraid of alone. It took my core and it was doing this to the point that it was pushing the air up, out, and pushing any fluids out the other way. So it was just like it gripped. And you have to understand it's not a goober attack, a black magic attack, any of those attacks. It's not that. Somebody's soul just cried.
Brittany H, possibly?
They're in the room, but it's not Brittany. Someone's very quiet. Okay. My heart goes out to you because your clue will be that it's connected to pouting. Like James and I, James was saying, you know, having to look at old patterns. Notice the younger self. You know, look back. Well, Brittany says it's for sure, but you know what? Believe it or not, there's someone that has this. Somebody says, was it me? So somebody's connecting because they're just.
Is it Vicky?
No.
Is it Carla?
No. Okay. That's okay. We will see. Oh, wait. Laura. So can you relate to what I'm saying? Sue's pouting. Oh, how many people am I picking up? 3. Sue is 1. I think Laura is another. There's 1 more person. So why was I feeling adult? What? Because that's a subject we should talk about. Okay. Okay. Now, it's part of you, Sue. There's 3. Now here, just you were left behind. You were left out. Pouting is the clue. Okay, just let's take this and then I'm going to just ask Spirit. Let's treat it as if it was, you know, that all 3 of you are my client. We're going to be doing soul coaching with my group. Soul coaching is where people are going to heal, and I will do it accordingly. You'll see. For instance, Medicine Woman Solution Tribal Unit. One of that, when you're a gold member, you will come in and it's soul coaching. It'll be an hour, but I'm sure it'll be more than an hour. And what happens is that I go in and I say, okay, let's hold these points. Let's do this. And there'll be a theme. Pouting, pushing one's lip out, an expression of annoyance in order to, or an annoyance, pushing it out, pushing. And if you can feel that you're pouting, what do you really feel? Now, annoyance is one thing. It's a displeasure, a disappointment. How do you cope with that? So, do you understand what I'm saying? We want to get in there. What does pouting feel like to you? When you begin to identify, it's our privilege of being a human to feel sorry for ourselves, to feel like we have it tougher than others. Pouting in an adult is having to internal pity party because we haven't gotten what we wanted. Things haven't gone the way we'd hoped they might. We heard something we didn't want to hear. We've been left out. We have to work on something we have. Rather, we would be doing something else. I don't want to do that. Okay. So, in a child, this is interesting. He says, in a child, to be willing to put their foot down, stand their ground, and mean that they say who don't give up in a selfish act of pouting. So do you pout to get something, or is a pouting is your reaction? Okay, but it hurts. That's what it boils down to, is it hurts. When I look at Eeyore syndrome, I think of more of a depressed person. That's amazing. He had friends, and he always was invited. Love that part about Eeyore. Okay, so Brittany, you might be the other person, but there's 3 people. Okay, Betty says, I get sad, then despair, then anger, then indignant. Very good. In the steps. But, so, twang. There has to be an incident. So if you have an incident, and I know Sue's because we talked about it in the academy. I don't know what your others are. See, and it's a program. You don't know. And why did that happen? Your soul is saying, you ready to heal this now? What do I gotta heal? I'm good. I've healed my shit. And all of a sudden, twang. So 3 times a day, take me to the stars. Oh, interesting. Okay. So when a twang happens like that, you can feel the age you are. So just think right now, how old are you being? How old do I feel? How old is this? When was the first time I did this? For Sue, 2 years old. For, I don't know if Lori's playing, but she was 1. And Brittany, you had a very strong incident when you were 4. And when I'm beginning to see this, you know what pouting is. Now I noticed all three of you, you have it deep into the heart meridian, okay? For Sue, I can't cope. For Lori, I can't cope. And for Brittany, I can't cope. So the pouting is meaning, I don't have no fucking way to handle this, except for this feeling. Because if you look at it energetically, here's the incident. If you're being left out, okay, notice the breath. Good. Laura's playing too. Amber's playing. And just notice this. Do you got this? And that is, you are a response now, and you are that age, and you're thinking to yourself, but here I am as a freaking adult. But it's so real. Okay, now if your emotions are really strong, you're not going to really hear me. But at the same time, if your spirit mind can hear me, then let's go heal this little girl. Let's go heal them. So the common theme will be, all of you will grab your left hand and see where my first finger is. That's where your thumb will go. Right there, not here, not over here. So pay attention that it's under the thumb. And then you're going to put your pointer finger here. Take these three, wrap it around. You're going to take your thumb and you're going to push in deep. Now don't kill it, just push it in deep. And you're going to hold it. Okay, you're going to hold it. And y'all three of you are going to keep your hand there. Sue says, now my heart's racing. Okay. Very good. Amber says, yes. Yes, either pout or get angry. So notice the hurt, if you're getting angry quick, it'll be a, and then you jump to the next step real quick. Brittany says, I get overwhelmed and all my senses want to shut off. Yes. You know, I love autocorrect because autocorrect does never let you type in the dang letters. It also turns it around to shut off. That's what we do though. And you just want that shit to shut off. Brittany says, I have emotional outbursts. Very good, very good. Very good. Today has been so hard. Good. So now, whoever's playing with me, just allow yourself to hold this point. Betty, you could use this too. Okay. Now you're going to all sit there as you're holding the points. I want you to put it on a scale from 0 to 10. 10 being, oh my God. And really feel that pit of that, okay? Very, very important. Okay, wonderful, Lori. Lori says, I'm just crying, emotional. Good. This is good, because if your hand's here, okay, Lori, your hand is like this and you're pushing that in, we're going to process the chemical peptides that have been trapped. We're going to process this program that first time that I have to respond this way to this situation. We're going to start healing that out at the core, out of the roots. Okay, very good, very good. Keep going. You guys are great. And when you feel like it's shifting, or if you feel like it's done, then you can say, check me. And when I see check me, I will look to see where you are on your scale, because I can see your chords better than you can see it. And I'll shift, I'll know. Yeah, Betty goes, I'm already on it. Good, she already knows. Brittany says she's got tears, good, good. Brittany says 10 years, silent 10 years. Yes, and that's one hell of a pouting for 10 years. Even if you're smiling, that body has no idea that time has passed. It is just, this is what it is. We just learned how to overcome, suppress it down, because our body's consciousness has memorized it for you. So you can free it up and gather proof. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. We are taking, and if anybody else is like, what's going on? Then what we're doing is that we're doing soul coaching. And we're all going to hold L1D and think and feel hurt and pouting. That is what we're doing. All right, we have Vicki. It says check me. Vicki, you're at a 3. And in that heart, I would tell you to go into how you see lofty when it came to that. Brittany, every time you try to expand yourself, you can feel the pain, and you are at a 5. And this is where you also have to become something out of sympathy. So yours gets morphed into something else. Very, very important. Amy, you playing too? Yes? Yay, Amy's playing too. Okay. So again, after we are done with this, you're going to have to witness. You know where you started, how you felt it come down. Ooh, Tammy says, check name. So she is at a 3, but yours is morphed into, notice the coping tools, okay? Some of you picked up eating, some of you picked up sleeping, some of you picked up an addiction of some sort from smoking to whatever it is, there's an addiction. So that's what you have to look at is, how do I cope? Coping to cope with that. Then you have Andrea. You are at a 3, but it's what you've told yourself. So it's the self-talk. So they're saying, notice how you feel depressed to cope with that hurt. Okay, so you go around and around and around. Vicki said, that's a lot of progress for me. Vicki, you're doing great. Brittany, ooh, so close, Britt. Awkward. So it's like, you don't want to approach people because that awkwardness, because it's going to happen again. So feel the awkwardness. And Brittany says, one of my bad habits is settling so that the other person feels better. Yes. Okay. There's a part of you that awkwardness is, I don't even want to become friends with anybody or do anything with anybody because I know I'm going to have to do that. And your body's like going quivering. It's like, oh, okay. Ooh, who's that? Ooh. Brittany, notice how you're scorned if you don't morph. That's stuck in the heart. Hey, Bobby. Yes, what we're doing here. Am I stuck on 2 Brittany's? Yes. Ha! Oh, darn it. Brittany H, you are at a 2 and you happen to have the scorn. The Brittany L happens to have, oh, well, you just shifted anyway. The Brittany L, you're in this, how you see erratic energies and how they vibrate you to be something different. And Bobby, what we're doing, if you look on the screen, it's soul coaching. It's one of the things I do. One of our tribal unit groups, what we're doing is that the gold member is that, and I think it's next Tuesday, we are going to be doing soul coaching, which is, I will pick something, which is the common thing, and then we will heal it. So what they're doing is holding left wrist, first position, and nice and deep, place it here, thinking and feeling about hurt and pouting. Being left out, how you respond. It's about how you respond. It's about, why did I get left behind? Why, okay?
Check, please.
Okay, so for Amy, you are at a 5, believe it or not. Towards yourself, you have to pout and be hurt because that's your identity. And then Betty, you're getting there, but you also now have to look at how other people pout in order to get you to do what they want. I think I'm ready for a check. Okay, Lori, you're at a 2. You may not be able to feel it, but notice habits. And they're saying, notice how the people, your inner world create outer people, so that they have to say shit. So what's the common triggers and the themes that you keep seeing that put you there? And that is because you're working through your root chakra. Okay, so worthless happens to be a big theme for you. Brittany, your name is a big, huge trigger, ironically enough. Really? Yeah, that sits in the heart, that's for sure. Because there's a bullying aspect energy with yours. You can hold that into L1D as well. Tammy, you become very self-conscious. People are going to know something. I'm not sure. It's like people are going to know just that you become very self-conscious. Teresa, you go into self-loathing. You'll sit in the back of your mind without knowing it, and you will self-loathe. Okay, to lick your wounds, I should say, Tammy. So this is soul coaching. This is what I do. This is what I do best. When people can't afford me, then they're like, oh my God, and they'll write me. So then I have to open an account for you. So what happens is that people will like, oh my God, and it's a $2 for every answer. So if somebody is like, I can't, and if they can get me, so that means they do all the work. I just give them the information and I'm trusting their heal. And then over time, even if it happens to be all day, the point is that whatever I respond, then as long as you have learned how to put value and credit into the account, then we just do a running total, and those that are new, and then they pay the bill, do whatever they need to do. But they can get fast relief. Like I had somebody that had anxiety at work and they couldn't really work. I said, all right, rub here, rub here, rub here, rub here. And then they disappeared and they come back. Oh my God, you got me out of anxiety. That was great. And so then they just paid for it.
Yeah, it is great to get out of anxiety like that.
Yeah, I love that. I love the fact we can. Um,
There's times where I'll something will happen and it's like, oh my God, okay, Brenda, what do I need to rub? What do I need to hold?
yes. Vicki, you're at a 2 and you have indecision. Um, other people's indecisions other people's decisions and indecisions mess you up because if you make the wrong choice, and it's a very rarity on certain people because you're really a strong woman, it's that, it's indecisions. Look at it that way. Sue, you can't get over it. That's that feeling. I can't get over. She left me out. I can't. You're stuck there. That's where you're at. I want you to get deep down and feel that. You're like, ooh, that bitch. Okay. She's just stepping into playing as, and look at who it is when you're younger. Tammy says, I became very self-conscious and second guess. Oh, good job. That means that you can stare at that second guessing. Oh, I have to second guess. No, take your power back, take your power back, take it back.
Check, please.
Okay, for Amy, ooh. Hey, do you feel better?
Yeah.
Because I don't see it there. Remember, zip up or hook up. Brittany H. Gonna get it right. You're so close. Oh my God, you're so close. You got like a half. What about me? What about me? Keep your hand there. What about me? Good job. Good job. Hey, James. So it's so important to begin to understand that you do not have to be owned by your experience, by your emotions, or hijacked by your thoughts. Tools, resolving tools, healing tools. You will be impressed with yourself. Because I need you now to make sure, oh, where'd my words go? So those of you, if you think you're done, and if you want me to check, great. If you don't, then you put your finger in the belly button and the forehead, you push it and lift up and hold. And then you're going to breathe in and out to help seal. And some of you will start noticing when you're there, you'll yawn and you'll shift, you wiggle, you whatever. That's good. Tammy Ann. Tammy, now I see that this particular level that you're on 0. How do you feel? Assess it. Notice. You knew how it was a 10. Is there anything left at all? Okay. Very good, very good. And I'm going to double check with, yeah, good job. All right, again, finger in the belly button and the forehead to keep the healing. Let me look at Lori. Lori, yes, Lori. Okay, double check within yourself. Don't feel it, that's great. Push in and you feel it. If you happen to see it later, it's not that it's built back up or it came back, it's just that you're hitting another level. Teresa P, check yourself. I feel like you're 0, but check yourself. Vicki, you are 0. Please check yourself. And then if you feel it, remember to do this. Now that we've done that part, yeah, and that's your next level, is to be in self-conscious. Notice, how do you do it and why do you need to do it? And take your power back. You can literally, as soon as you start to feel it, notice it, take your power back and say no. You have to witness. What do I mean by witness, Ames?
You have to witness it. You have to tell somebody or write it down so that the glial cells don't come through and suck up the information that you just healed yourself.
Yes, and she said glial. Yes, that's G-L-I-A-L. And these cells that are in our head. So if you imagine a tree, which is the dendrites, and they make branches with leaves. These are your thoughts. These are what you hardwired and all of this. But how does forgetting happen? When you do not hardwire it, focus, memorize, and all that, then the leaves, memories, thoughts, feelings, fall to the ground. And then the glial cell comes in, mows it up or vacuums it up, and you forget. And then you go right back to sleep, and your ego goes, that didn't happen. I don't remember that. Oh, you know what? Hey, just, yeah. When you witness, you are training the brain to predict better. And because you witnessed and you learn to hardwire it, all of a sudden, you're going to start graduating. And spirit is going to keep handing you beautiful things about you. And you get more and more in line to your authentic self. Love the yawns. Brittany H, you're done too. Laura, you're done. Good. Vicki said witnessing. I just healed myself of pouting, lofty energy, and indecision. Y'all. Very good. Very good. And when you feel that experience, the before and the after, it's going to click. And you're like, which do I choose? Hell or heaven? Hell or heaven? No? Yes, heaven. And then when you're in your hells, you're like, oh, I know I can find heaven. Hold on. Brenda says, tool, yeah. Oh my God. Okay? You can use your imagination. You be impressed with yourself. Okay? Very good, very good. I feel more awake, which lets me know my soul came back to me more. Yes, we're becoming more in alignment. Who ran away today? Oh, you, yes. Catch up the times. Okay, so are there any, so what did you all think? Give me your experience, give me your feedback. Thank you, Dale, you're sweet. Wifey Pooh says hello. She says, have you looked in the mirror lately? Don't know what that's about. Ah, Amber. She said, thank you, Brenda. I love you.
Does she go in the drawing?
What's that?
Dale in the drawing?
Yeah, stick his ass in the drawing.
All right.
Ah, well, I'm glad now. Again, if you guys, it is soul coaching, and a lot of times what happens is that you have to set up the account. You just drop in 20 here and there, and then I put in, you have a running account. And then whatever I do, I have to add up and then subtract it. And Dale says, I'm avoiding the mirror. Is that what she meant? So if you happen to see lip prints or something, and like when you, and you can see that she left you this cute little message somewhere. She said, feel it with your heart and you'll definitely see it. Okay. Sending so much love and appreciation. I accept it. It's a big hug. This is what we're doing. Oh, Sue says, I feel like I got slapped. Yes. Notice how hard that freaking thing hurt. Because sometimes it's a story we tell ourselves. Now, did she intentionally do it? Did she? Because I had this happen to me so many times. There was a part of me, and I realized it was because I didn't speak up. I wouldn't put my energy out there. And I didn't want to be, what do you call it? Needy. I didn't want people to say, oh my God, what do you want? You know, I had so much crap run into my head that it's because I shrank my energy, yet people couldn't see me. And sometimes I would hide because I didn't want people to see my feelings. Sometimes I felt like it was left out and they were doing this and looked like, oh, she can't do it. And it was just my sister. It was the story from a long time ago. Oh, Vicky says I wore headphones at grocery store today and it kept me from taking on energy. Yes, I have to often sometimes distract myself. Like if you got kids, their energy can be great, but if all of a sudden their energy and your frequency, you're out of sync and oh my God, you don't want to lose your shit. Sometimes I put in earplugs just slightly because my ears would pick up and intensify everything 1,000%. And it's like, okay, once I put those in, it like balanced out the frequency, you know. And when I told my one friend that she's, oh my God, you're a mean mother. I'm like, oh my God, you don't know what I'm doing. My ears are very sensitive. And it's like, wow, you know, you could see how she was judging herself or other people have judged her. And I didn't have to take her judgment. I'm like, headphones, music. Sometimes I'll just put music in one ear so that I can hear the frequencies of the song so that my frequencies don't go out of whack to become the environment someone else or me back. He says, yes, sending love, blessings, and light to you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay, thank you. I take it too. Yes, yes, yes. Lori says, appreciate this. I've been building up for a few days after a bad situation. Had no idea what was going on, but knew it was deep. Good job, good job. I'm all so proud of you guys. Very, very, very proud of you guys. Oh, Brittany says, that was incredible. And I don't know why these simple things slip our minds and moment. But that is absolutely true, Brittany, because when we go into that high beta, okay, the autonomic nervous system goes from parasympathetic, yay, to rest and digest to alert, 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 shuts down, all your energy swoops up, gets caught up into this energy, which then doesn't feed the heart, or, you know, your heart tries to do everything it can to keep the joy, but if your pericardium can't protect the heart, then you're going to end up feeling it more. And we slip right into high beta. We get out of that frontal lobe. We don't crate there. We just slip into high beta. We go into our health. Gotta solve it, gotta solve it, gotta solve it. And if you can learn to balance yourself, that's why the more you witness, the more you go, your brain will start predicting, grab that tool. That's why a lot of people see my face and then all of a sudden they'll see a flash in me, a flash of them in their mind, and they're like, oh, yes. And then they'll remember, or what would Brenda do? Or because sometimes I had a couple of my friends, they were just so much in the pit of hell and they swore I was standing right in front of them. And I said, no, you called me to you. If I'm there, you've called me. It isn't me. It's the essence of the energy of what you represent is relief. So like any dream, like people who dream of me, and usually I'll say, well, what's the first thing? You're my spiritual teacher. Okay, so your spiritual self is telling you what? It's not me. I'm a representation of an icon that if you push it, hey, it's like the smiley face, you know, or the heart. So when you slowly get to where you are, okay, that's why some people will just say, Brenda's in my head. Okay, yeah, tool. Oh my God. And the next thing you know, they're starting, because they've done it enough, they're like, oh my God. And they have no idea that they're healing themselves. And when my friend was doing it right in front of me, I'm like, hello, you just did it. Your body is memorizing how to heal itself. And I'm not even present. I said, good job. So, Britt, oops, where you go? I was so shut down today and then came out at 5:30 and then back around. Oh, wow. Okay. Good job of witnessing and noticing how, we have a time clock in our body. And sometimes we'll get a reprieve between like 5 and 7, 7 and 9 because they go every 2 hours. And something then will get shut down again. You can begin to notice your pattern of what meridians will show up. I'm the one that will talk to everyone at the store. She's an old lady. I say, excuse me, can you tell me how to? And then the smile that crosses her face. I love it. Yes, spreading the love and the joy. I do too. I mean, let me tell you, a lot of people, I don't even go out there. I haven't been out in a while. Last time I was out, they're looking at me like, you got the plague. And I'm like, this is before I really knew what was going on with the coronavirus. Where's this coming from? Do I stink? Do I look evil today? Of course, your ego goes in and blames yourself and all this other stuff. Well, bitch, please. I didn't do that. I was just like, wow, strange energies. But yes, normally I like to communicate, talk, let people smile, feel love loose. Aw, been a rough day. So many of our closest people, closest people, I don't remember. Can't even read now. But yes. Oh, Brittany says, I thought of you this morning. That was a sign. I missed it. Yes. I mean, it took me a while. I kept saying to Spirit, what's going on? I'm not invading their space. Are they calling me up on their mirror? What is going on? And then when Spirit started telling me, I was like, oh, that's deep. Right, all day. Amber says, yeah, I thought about her all day. Weird. Now it's thinking of, yes, you're learning. Oh, yes. Sending the kindness, an act, so it's the act of random kindness. It's allowing yourself to do this. An arc, that's what it is. But you act. Good job. Sending out that love. Make a domino effect. I'm a bit anxious, Tammy says. Let's see what this says. I'm a bit anxious as they roll out everything, opening up again for us slowly. Yes. Yeah. It is. The different mindsets between the United States and here is different. I get it. But it's about the chakras that are actually talking. And we just have to get rid of the fear, take back our fear.
Brenda, Carla's new.
Who, what?
Carla Sinsky is new.
Carla! Where's she? There she is. Hello. Hi, Carla. Dale says, Corona has opened many doors for many. Time to focus and reflect. Yes. And it is time that, because we're opening the crown chakra and we're opening up the heart again, and we're learning to come back to the center of internal self. There was always that story about hey, God, where should we put the truth? Put it on the highest mountain. No, they'll find it too quick. Waste it. What about the deepest sea? No, they'll waste it. I know the best place to hide it inside themselves. They'll never think of looking in there. And hello, Carla. Yes. All righty, we're doing good here.
Bobby's having surgery in the morning, Brenda.
Oh. Well, first of all, Brittany, stop giving away that power. Notice when it starts to go, take it back. Call yourself back home. Bobby. So there's an active memory, and I keep hearing it's much needed. Now, what I don't understand, much needed. It doesn't even sound like your voice. Bobby, may I ask you a question? This is always delicate to ask, but do you know what Munchausen syndrome by proxy is? Because it's not to that degree, but there is still a lot of people out there that need somebody to be sick to take care of them, because if they have this, I had to make sure that, because I always had to take care of people, I said, look, I'm going to have kids. I don't want to learn from them. I would rather learn from other people. Number two, I don't want to have to show up is that I have to take care of somebody and I need people to be sick just so I can be needed. But there are people's energies out there that that's the only way they understand how to identify, connect, and be with somebody. So a part of me wonders, Bobby, if you were kind of expected to, oh, she's always sick. My mother would say, oh, you're so clumsy. And I noticed that my clumsy after a while got more and more. It's like, you know, there's the power of suggestion. Oh, that's just her. I mean, you have to be careful. So there can be two ways about it. One, I think we discovered that you had to, so weird because there's a song, and I still haven't found it. And I know that I can love you because I can hurt you. Okay. But it's also the twisted revenge that our child part of us traits. You just wait until I get sick, and then you're going to feel sorry for me. Then you'll get it. Then and it's like having to pay back. So there's this energy on the outside, though, that's, you know, it's like you kind of almost expect it to be sick. I can't explain it. And, oh, okay, how about a relationship? Okay, how are you going to say that? All right, I'm going to try my best because I know what it says. I know what it feels like. I'll put it into English. My grandma, I would see people get sick. I'd see people have their issues. But what happened is that I associated with them. Without realizing it, it stuck in my head. As I got older, a part of me could feel that I was copying that pattern of what it looked like. Pain, agony, and death. When I watched my one family member get cancer, same age as my mother did, and then she got in a car accident, this same place of the accident in her body was where the brother got the accident. And all I could see were snapshots of moments that stuck in her memory. And her body played it out on her GPS. So, was somebody in your life sick all the time? Because you have, I see you inside the house of mirrors in a horror house. And these house of mirrors are supposed to reflect back to you. And the interesting part of the reflection is I feel in a way you're supposed to be sick. You're meant to be sick? No. It was a decision. It was a belief. It's a pattern. It's a program. It's the DNA. You said, I have to be sick because I'm going to throw this word out to you. Envy. Think about envy. Have you ever seen it? Because, can I tattle a little bit, Amy?
Sure.
Do you know what I'm going to talk about?
I have no clue, but go ahead.
Well, you can talk about it. What did your body do about when your brother? She didn't hear the first part.
Oh.
So what did you learn as a child when your brother was sick?
Oh, to get sick. Because that was how he got attention. So I figured that's how I needed to get attention.
That's what her program ended up doing. So she just says, nobody had much health problems in the family. I haven't been sick until now. Okay. So if you didn't see it in the family, again, there can be a lot of our programs.
I looked up envy. It means a feeling of discontented, or resentful longing aroused by someone else's positions, qualities, or luck. Interesting.
Oh, the word, now I'm going to point out the reason you're physically sick today is because at 1 year old, toward yourself, you have a belief that you are vulnerable. You don't know what to do with that vulnerability because that hurts. So what happens is that you end up taking on, it's different than absorbing. You're taking on, without knowing, you're taking on how to act, how to be in the family, what role do I play? So I'm going to ask you, your little self, do you have to give up who you are? Yes. What did you display? Did somebody not like it? Yes. What did you display that wasn't liked? I was emotional. I procrastinated. I didn't want to do stuff. I felt overwhelmed. My safety felt like it was always, I'm like losing breath here. My safety, you felt like your safety. And so the vulnerability, and so the body is stuck in a vulnerability state. The envy somehow has to be related to that. So we're going to say, thank you, Spirit, for helping to bring information so the story can be seen. Hi, Carla. It's angry and feels guilty. Okay, so who can't figure it out? What can't you figure out, Carla? There's something there. Okay, anyway, it's important to define your world. Now, I want you to put Betty's name in the box. Or you can ask her if she wants it, because sometimes she may or may not. Because she donated money for the healing. Thank you. But if you'd like, maybe we should ask her. Because if she does or doesn't, some people don't, some people do. So just ask her. Okay. Oh, so Carla said gets angry and feels guilty. She says, I thought maybe that's what Amy felt towards her brother. Think back, James.
Not that I remember because I was so little.
Okay, what about later on?
No.
Have you had anybody ever show up like your brother that had unfinished business?
I'm not married to him.
So are you angry and feel guilty to the one you're married to?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, Carla. So that's very interesting. Maybe that's a
Carla knows me pretty well.
Huh?
Carla knows me pretty well.
Oh, it's your friends. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Ames, I would say that has to be an R1S for you. So as she's healing. Okay. Yes, Betty put her name in. So yes.
I did.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Bobby says, I have had a really hard life and always put everyone before me. I haven't been taking care of myself for a long time. There it is. Okay. So you had to take on this role because of that age. Your 1-year-old self says, I have to put everybody before me so that I can receive love. Is she okay? All of this? It's a hard road, but she's doing it. Okay, so one of the things that you have to learn is what you're not. Now you're beginning to learn to find out what you are, and that is beginning to earn your way through understanding what you're not, so that your authentic self will come out. So that means you have to heal and surrender the stories in the making of. So, Bobby, you may want to consider to join the tribal unit, because the gold one, so that you can really start to dive in a little bit deeper. Okay. All right, your root chakra, you chose this path. Definitely. So you have to distract yourself from ever being you. Vicky says, oh, I've experienced the anger, the guilt once or 1,000 times. Okay. Now, Amy, in between, you're going to have to just do some. Do we have any 1-minute reads? Or have I aimed everybody?
Well, I have emails.
Yeah, let's start up.
Amanda.
Amanda. I don't want to go bonanza. What fucking day of week is this? All of a sudden, I don't have a clue. Thursday for me.
Wednesday for us.
I'm confused. I should be doing a nighttime show. No, I'm not. Everything's kind of upside down and backwards, I feel, as I'm entered Amanda's mirror-looking thing here. Holy crap. Okay, Amanda. You need to do some Wayne Cook and Wayne Cook posture. And, oh, and what? Hello. No. Where are we going? Look at all of these pages I've created. She needs to be back in her body. Her spirit needs to connect with. What? Her spirit needs to connect with. Her body needs to connect to. Her spirit needs to connect with. Where are we at? Okay, it's 100% of the spirit within her physical body. Yes and no. Check communication problems in other directions. You might be simply ask these questions. Okay, hold on. So it's in a deep internal thing. Okay, so let's begin this. The nervous system. Okay, so your spirit is this communication. So we need to connect your nerves to your respiratory spine, or just the nervous system overall general. We're going to connect the spirit to the nervous system that communicates to the. We're just not going to ask for anything to be easy. Okay, Amanda, what you're going to do is you're going to sit there and you're going to take your hand. You're going to repeat these words to yourself, and I'm putting it up on the grid. You can grab it whenever, but you can also copy me and you can really hone it in. I connect my spirit to my nervous system and that to my respiratory system. I connect my nervous system to my respiratory system. I connect my spirit to my nervous system to my respiratory system. Oh, I connect my nervous system to my respiratory system. I connect my nervous system to my respiratory system. I connect my spirit to my systems. Connect spirit to all systems. Yeah, that weird feeling gone. Okay, who's the next one?
LaRonda, she says, I've been having a little shortness of breath the last couple of days. Is there a recommended point to rub?
All right, so this is an old pattern about taking others. So you can feel what other people are feeling to some degree. You're taking on their awkwardness. And what does that mean? Well, that means that if you're doing that, then your body is a respondent. So you're going to call your energy back. If you can see that they're awkward, you're going to just take and you're going to call my spirit back home. I call my energy back to me. Notice the color. Okay, as you begin to do this, you're going to notice that towards yourself, there's actually a heartache because awkwardness displaced your lack of power. And so then you had to, in order to get it, you had to take on a certain amount of behavior. So to help your body, we're going to say right side of the body. You're going to think right hemisphere, right side of the body. You're going to do SI. You're going to do heart, which is HT. You got SI, HT, so small intestine, heart. LV3, and the bladder 64. And you're going to think right hemisphere, and then you rub all those on the right. And then you're going to say left hemisphere, and you're going to do large intestine, which is LA4. Lung 9, LU9, left hemisphere, and then your gallbladder, left ankle, GB40, and then your spleen 3. And begin to help the body, because your constitutions are off inside, but that'll have to be for another time, because it's just supposed to be a minute. Right now it's a heart war. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's been at least 6 days of heavy duty presenting things with the heart. Okay. And yes, Bobby, you're completely protected in and out of the surgery. There's a part of you that's like, oh my God, because every time you come out, there's like, oh, I don't want to wake up. But you will. You will. Because you know that you are taking the road back. Who's next?
Brittany Lynch.
Miss
My
Lynch.
question is, what is my next big step in life? What should I prepare for?
Do you know what trolls are? Because I just heard learning how to take on the trolls. And I'm thinking, what? And it's not that. Now, when the trolls came in my life, that was there to show me I had energy loss. That there showed me the action to how I responded, and I would lose power. How much I didn't realize it, but I valued their opinion because I thought it was true. So you have to learn to consider the source. Okay? That part of knowing when the loss begins. And you are going to find that you're deciding that you're living in 2 worlds, and that you got to start to decide if you want to be an ego. You have to start noticing it, take your power back, and then choose to realign up your spiritual mindset. That is what I feel you're doing. So, that's cute. Because they're saying, oh, there's no way to read that today. When you receive this, you have a 2 worlds. 2 of scrolls is 2 worlds. There's a conflict in your life between what the outer world requires of you and how your own spirit directs you. Same thing. You have to understand your inner world controls your outer world, and if you let the outer world control you, then so take your power back, notice the twangs, heal your shit, resolve to evolve. Yes, I'm taking on the trolls. Yeah, we got proof, but we can make that stop, because your outer world will always show what you have to work on. Next.
Lori, I am feeling very vulnerable lately, not certain what my future holds. I also feel I need to change, but have fear of the unknown, or if I should even go there. Would appreciate any insight. Thank you in advance.
Oh, was this sent before we did the L1D? Because I feel like part of you has changed.
Yes.
And when we begin to look at this, they said, we'll still answer that, but after the healing, they says, I need you to notice what is the meaning of dishonor. They want you to do it old school. They want you to go back to the beginning. How do you define it? Dishonor. You may not even feel like you have the meaning of this. Now, old school would be that all of a sudden you'd have to wait, time would pass, and you'll catch your mouth saying, "You just dishonored me." You're like, "Where'd that come from?" But we're just going to take a shortcut. Go to the dictionary. Dishonor is that state of shame or grace, bringing shame on. To fail to observe or respect, you dishonor. So if somebody has failed to observe you or respect you, if, like, one of the things the Chinese people did was that they fell upon their sword. I disgraced myself, and they would take, and they, can't remember the name of it, but they would then go right into their third chakra there. But you don't have to have shame control you because you didn't live up to whose standards. You don't have to be that other people's programs that they live in, because it's time to take that catalog of life and say, no, heal that, resolve on, and move into another part where you change who you are by changing out the negative emotions and learning how to live in your spiritual mindset. New standards. If you fail, if other people have said you dishonored me because you failed to observe and respect me, understand you were supposed to show up as the asshole that day and say, where is it that I'm not present in this relationship? Okay, next.
Brittany H. Relationship advice. What does Spirit want me to know most?
Okay. You have to own your power. You have to be in sync. You got to want to be on the same page. Everybody thinks opposite attracts. That's where you're supposed to be. But you understand that if you can find somebody that wants to grow with you, great. And if you were to allow yourself to notice that when you're out of sync, it is to heal your shit so that they'll show up differently. Okay? And there's a part of you that needs to begin to know this because you feel it's not safe for you to love again. But you will when you start to notice that all of these aches and pains are only seen through the ego, and you don't have to fall for it. Now, if you've paid, which I wonder, it says Jen, so the Thrive, is that Jen? Is there any way to find out that one? I'm assuming that's probably her.
Well, there is a Jennifer Wall that's emailed me.
Okay, but I'm wondering, see, I got to see if that's the same one. We'll find out. We'll just explore, because the only way you can get on today to live is if you pay. So, oh, there we go. Let's see what happens.
Now, can you spotlight you?
Isn't that weird? Yeah, I can now.
So, future
All right.
reference, I need to come in on my phone and on the computer, and then you can spotlight yourself, and then I don't have to pop in and out every time I say something.
Because I don't know you as much. Because I don't see it. I don't even go back to look at the videos. I have no idea what it looks like, but I can feel like it.
It annoys me.
Huh?
It annoys me to pop just.
That's why I keep, okay, because I'm like, I was unaware of it, and I think you were the first that brought it up, and I thought, well, I tried to figure it out. So yes, we're still doing the 1 minutes. Somehow Jen's thing's not working. Oh, it's coming in now. We're gonna find out if she's the one that's paid. We usually paid pet expedites come first, and then after that becomes it. So we always usually do a timestamp. Vicky said I had a troll yesterday and handled it differently. Whoa, ended up having a civil conversation. It was fun. See, it's amazing how you can get out of ego about how you gotta fix it to understand why it's there. Can't hear you yet, Jen. Are you the one that paid? Are you the Thrive one? Yeah, she's still got to figure out her volume. Oh, thank you, Brittany.
There.
Thank you. Hey, do we have it yet? Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear her too. Now, are you the one that paid because it's under the Thrive or something?
Yep, that would be me.
Okay, just want to make sure. I was like, oh, I don't want to dishonor the wrong person here. Okay. All right, my dear. How can I help you?
Well, I've been kind of chatting with Brittany a little bit. I've just recently got divorced at the end, well, not the end, the beginning of March. And my ex had a lot of mental health issues. And during that process, I met a new guy, and we are doing very, very well. However, my ex keeps getting involved in there with his ex and is causing a lot of problems. And I'm just feeling really torn because I don't know. I'm just looking for direction as to, do I keep listening? Do I just give up?
Okay. Now, here's the thing. When give up what? Wait. Whoa. Give up what? Who or what? Give up what?
My relationship with my current boyfriend. I have.
Why? Okay, go ahead.
What was going on here? So my ex-husband is bipolar and has a lot of mental health issues.
Right.
And when I separated from him, when he found out about my boyfriend who I've been dating for a while, he immediately started going after my new boyfriend's ex-wife, ex-girlfriend, and causing a lot of drama between me and him and all these exes in his life, including his children.
Okay, so let me explain. And so you can hear her plight, you can hear what's happening, and I'm going to tell you on a soul level what's happening. Okay, so there's a lot of external or a lot of power, loss of power from you that during the marriage. Now, how long you guys have been together?
We were married for 16 years, together for 20.
Well, whatever happened 4 years into the marriage was the first snowball effect that started to come. And they said that's when all of a sudden it was muddled instability. That's kind of like where he lives. That's part of his nature. Okay, so that's your ex. And
It's
then for you, it's the process, yes. And then, but for you, it was whatever that particular pain was, is that it's stuck inside of you. Okay, so your inner world creates your outer world. Because that's there, then he has to keep showing up. So you have a certain amount of life force. So here's your divine blueprint. He's like, you can let him go and he won't ever be in your space. But because of whatever happened at that 4 years into the marriage, a certain amount of your life force attached to that. Okay, some of his shit got stuck into you. And so now your soul is saying, can you resolve it? Can you resolve it? Can you resolve it? And when it's trying to do that, that's why you have this boomerang yo-yo effect, interferences with everything, your happiness and joys get sucked out the window. So that's a sign that at 4 years into the marriage, you weren't supposed to really be happy. It's all about me. Okay. So you didn't really, nothing wrong with being bipolar, but in order for them to survive, they had to go there. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
That makes sense too. The 4 years is because that's when our second kid was born. And as soon as he was born, he looked at me and said, I don't want him. And he almost dropped him on the floor because he says, nope, I don't, this was your baby. I don't want to. And he really just kind of shut down at that point. And then he started to kind of hold it together. And about 7 years, we separated. He finally got on meds, was kind of better for a little bit. And then shit started hitting the fan again. I'm like, I'm done being abused. I'm done letting other people be abused.
Now, he wasn't your first person that did that. I'm just going to let you know. The first time you experienced when somebody wanted all that attention was when you were 3 years old. And it's like they would suck the energy out of the room.
Okay.
Your 3-year-old self immediately felt that I can't figure it out. What also happened after that is your heart was put up a wall because you didn't know what to do with that, because the person, in your family, you love them, but you can't believe that this happened. Now, was anybody growing up, did you see that? Did you see they had great anxiety in your home growing up?
Oh, my mom, by far, by far.
So she said it, I didn't. So notice that your first experience of an anxiety was that. Now we're not blaming, but at the same time, she's witnessing, oh, shit, I have been doing this before. So you've had to become an overcomer. You had to figure out how to scramble to have a relationship with this person again, because one, you love them. Two, you wanted to save her.
Mm-hmm.
So you took on a different personality, which was fine. But now you've grown up, you got married, having kids of your own. There's a part of you that's like, oh my God, I'm tired. I don't know if I have any more strength to do this, because they're not wanting to be saved. They don't want to be healed. And this is where now it becomes a karma issue. It's not that you did anything bad. It just means that if they're supposed to be accountable for their thing, and they look at you and you go and you solve it, you give them everything, and then you deprive yourself, what happens is the karma now comes back, and you just took an incurred karma because they were supposed to learn their lesson. They didn't. So that means you have to learn your lesson.
Okay.
And now you are starting to realize, wait. It was a decision I made at 3 that because of this. I mean, I know it sounds far-fetched, but if you follow along, you can see, you can feel each of these freaking moments, and they keep repeating. Now we got to change that. What do we want to change? We want to change how you don't want your heart crushed. From that first moment when you saw them have great anxiety, great behavior, all about them,
Mm-hmm.
look at me, because you can literally feel how it sucked the life or the air out of that space.
Oh, I can even say that with my husband when I would come home with him. I mean, when I would come into the house when we were married, it was like the energy sucking out of the house. There was like no energy in the house. It was a horrible negative energy. And since he's been gone, people are laughing, smiling, people are coming over to the house. It's crazy. And you know, the new guy that I have in my life, we are so much the same spiritually, and we believe good things are going to happen as long as we're both good. We're good people. Yeah, we've had bad stuff and bad relationships and things like that, but both of us, the two of us, are struggling right now because of these 2 ex situations. And I'm struggling because he's trying to decide if he should stay with the mom of his kiddos, even though she's a lot like my ex to him and is abusive.
Oh my God. Okay, so when you begin to heal yourself, now remember, he, the one that you love right now, that you're having a great time with, is the one ring out. He's exactly your mirror. And you can see him wrestling with decisions. There's a part of you that when you get so involved, you can't see how you're doing or what you're doing, okay? Then you're like, but if you're seeing this, you're like, wait, I don't want him to go back, which you're trying to say to yourself, I don't want to go back. But you also know, why should I have their life so they'll be happy?
Yep.
Now you're moving into a state that has to do with, how do I stop that? How do I resolve that? And we ran out of time, but you can always set an appointment with me. But here's the thing. If you wanted to pay for those 6 months, then I would just keep you on and we would do this. Because I could help walk you through a particular feeling.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So I will set the timer again and let me show you. So notice how you had to suppress your joy. Because if you started to bubble joy, how would they act? Literally, how would they act? If you were around people that were so used to, give me attention, okay?
Yep.
Then how would they react if I couldn't put attention on me?
They don't like it because they're the ones in charge all the time.
Exactly.
And that's how my ex would be is he'd throw a tantrum, essentially a tantrum, a 40-year-old tantrum.
Exactly. Now, what's interesting enough, you have a phobia. And this phobia is connected to particular emotions. So what I'm going to have you do is that we're going to have you hold left wrist. Oh, well, that's not. You hold your left wrist. You're going to put your finger in the position. So line up.
I gotta try to hold my phone here the right way. So
Okay.
Oh.
Now notice the thumb. Slide your fingers over. Very good. Now notice that the third position is where you got to place your thumb. And then you're going to put your finger here. There you go. Wrap your 3 around. Now you're going to push your thumb in deep, and you're going to put your hand just like this. Okay? What I want you to focus on. How? Whew, how? Every time you want to be happy, there's impending doom. Because you can feel them creeping up on you, about ready to stalk you and throw a tantrum and get the attention. So it's like, and then now you're looking at your kids, you're like, it's like, I got to raise a kid. But you, as a kid, saw somebody that you love take their love away and tank you. Tanking is not thanking. Tanking is deliberately taking the energy and putting the energy extremely out there, because that's how they have to handle either to get a particular outcome, or that's how their brain is functioning, and that's the only way the chemical peptides is to explode, because it's like taking and Coke and put a seltzer in it, put a cap on it, and it's going to blow up. Okay, that's what's happening. But you, so you see my body's like going, it wants to really feel, I'm afraid. I really am afraid. And I'm literally watching you going, oh my God, I want to be happy. Now, when you got older, you're finally saying, okay, F it, I'm going to go happiness. And then you get dragged back in. And then you get dragged back in.
Yep.
Okay. I want you to see, you're so focused, because that's what it's like. Look at boy. You have to be so focused on them. Can you feel like all your energy just left your body?
Yes.
And as you do that, you're feeling like you have to stand in attention, like in an army. Yes. Because if you didn't, you knew that they were going to get more explosive. So we're going to start calling your energy back, calling your energy back. Notice that there's a part of you that your body says, no, because your body's like going, oh my God, I'm holding grudges. So another part of you is holding a grudge. Can you feel that?
Yes.
I want you to stare at that grudge. That grudge actually is the only way you're like, you're not getting this piece. Breathe it through. Put that on a scale from 0 to 10. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. We're just going to do an overall. You're going to still have to probably set up an appointment with me, but I want you to just feel this, letting it go. And as you do that, you let go of the grudges, you're going to zoom back in your body. And as you do that, you're going to notice that there's energy shield around you, and you can view them without losing yourself, that they're throwing a tantrum, that they're angry, but you see that, you know, like in Pigpen and Charlie Brown, there was a dust cloud.
Yep.
Now, all of a sudden, you have the ability to see the dust cloud. It doesn't have to touch you. It doesn't have to permeate your shield and come into your space. As you pull your energy back further, you're going, oh my gosh. You see their program, you see their personality, you see all of their energy. And it's like, they're a program, they're a pattern. I don't have to be involved in this. And the more that you do this, the more you zoomed back in your body, and you are going to zip yourself up like a zipper and say, okay, and then you're going to lock the key, and you're like, No, my front's locked, zipped up, my back's zipped up. I've locked my energy in, I've puffed out my aura, and now, there you go. Interestingly enough, I want you to notice how many we have one picture. Look through just the left eye. And you see how all of a sudden they would throw a pitch a fit. And you can feel part of you like, oh, I got to go out there. Can you feel that? All right. What number? Which eye are you looking through?
Looking through my right eye.
And what number is that feeling?
4.
Okay. Now remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch over to your left eye and notice how the person in the room is now trying to do the exact same thing to get your attention. And you're getting strong as saying, okay, I can ignore that.
Mom.
But so you see that? Remove, transcend, let it go. What number is it in the left eye?
5.
Notice how everything you're pulling yourself out because you're getting distracted.
Yep.
You know that they're going to get louder and louder in a minute.
Mom.
You feel inside that you're afraid.
Mom.
Pull your head, pull everything back in. Remove, transcend, let it go, and transform it. Switch eyes.
What are you doing?
Okay.
What are you doing?
As you're looking through the right eye and you notice, take your energy off the person that's in the room. And as you do this, is everything better now?
It is.
Okay, keep pulling your energy back in. Good job. You're proving to yourself. Remove and transform. As you do that, go to your right eye or left eye. What number is it?
2.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Look over to your right eye. What number is it?
2.
Now, one of the things that you're going to have to notice is that there's a direction. There's actual an angle to how they're coming in. Whether it's the corner of your eye, whatever it is. I know you can feel it. You're like, oh, it's right over there. Notice that energy is still going out. It's like you got to still put a feeler out. No. Bring it back. Call because that's your 1-year-old self. We're going to call her back. And now you're the mama and you're going to protect her. We're just going to give that person out there the ability to calm down. If I didn't exist, they'd still have to figure out how to calm down. I don't have to be the one. You're going to transform and you're going to look through the left eye. What number you got?
1.
Good. And as you take back your power, you're going to look and switch and go over to your right eye. And notice that I feel like you're inside now looking around going, what am I supposed to do? How do I know what to do here? Because this is not even my identity. I want you to aim for your heart, feel your heart. Just look inside your heart. Imagine that you're touching that part of your heart. Okay? And you're just going to breathe in. You're going to breathe out. And you're going to feel and ask your heart, is it okay to be me? What do you say?
Yes.
Good job. Now you go look over to your left eye. What number is it?
0.
Good job. Look over into your right eye. What number is it?
0.
Good job. You can take your hand down, put your hand on your heart. Breathe in, feel. It's okay to be me. And I want you to just take a minute. Who am I? I can giggle. There, good. Think of him. There you go. There's some good times there. Just feel it. Think, God, yeah. And notice that the energy around you is protected. So now you're going to put your finger in your belly button and your forehead, push and lift up. Breathe in and breathe out and just feel that this woof expands. So all of these people are just going to be like bouncing off of your aura, and but you're like, yeah, but it's not going to bother you because you're going to put reflectors of mirrors. So eventually, if they're supposed to take their karma back, they're going to have to be the one that learns how to use tools to resolve to evolve. You are not meant to problem solve. They are meant to learn how to problem solve. They haven't learned how to problem solve, except for in that fashion. It's time for them to learn new tools. It's not your responsibility to be them.
Okay.
All right, good job. Thank you very much. Yep, and I appreciate the coming on and all of that, and thank you for honoring me.
Thank you.
And if you feel like you've gotten anything out of this, then recommendation would be great. And I don't think you're in the tribal, so you may want to come and become a gold member too, because I feel like you are ready for a new life. Let's keep it that way.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later.
Sounds great.
Okay, so hopefully you've gotten something out of that. Vicky says, I think I have the afraid of being happy thing. As soon as I'm happy, someone falls right back into struggle. Okay, so you're the girl that waiting for the shoe to drop, the other shoe to drop. Excuse me, energetically and rebalancing. Okay. All right, whoever the next 1 minute is. Don't forget to witness. Oh God, thank you, Vicky. Yes, if Jen, whoever, tell her to witness. Okay, y'all are learning, so now you need to become little mini teachers. Woman, you mean you got happy tears? I see that one. Welcome back to your body. That's beautiful. Gotcha. Okay, who's the next minute?
Tammy D.
Tammy D. So sometimes there's an inappropriate response, and you're like, where the hell did that come from? Like when you inappropriately laugh at a funeral, or you inappropriately respond. Understand that was part of how you had to deal with panic. When your body says, oh my God, we're looking for a coping tool, we're grasping, and sometimes there's mixed signals about how you're supposed to act, and so you will end up developing a different way to respond. So sometimes it is the arrested development, the self-conscious, the right and wrong. How am I supposed to do this? And so that's where you're at. You're lying within this part of yourself that it's like, I don't really know how to, and then so you have creative insecurity. I don't know, but it's okay. It's what helps make you quirky. But you have a certain amount of energy that's lost because you have to keep telling yourself false self-assuredness. It's okay to be me. It's okay to be me. And it's like, I want you to understand you can be you, but the emotionally repressed part of you says, my identity says that I'm going to be bullied. I'm going to be bullied. You need to heal if that is what you feel like, okay? You need to release how you know bully is, how bullying feels, and heal it out. You're welcome, Brittany H says, thank you, Brenda, she did that. Yeah, well, I thank all of you for bringing her here. If we can help more and more people, then every time she heals us, she heals herself. Every time we heal ourselves, we help heal her and everybody else. We're learning to building up this consciousness in a very healthy manner. Aw, thank you, Britt. She said she'll pay the second half. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate that. So both Tammy and Tammy, sorry.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay, both Jen and Brittany are in the Hope Chest for a chance to get a 15-minute win a 15-minute free reading.
TP.
TP. You're learning that you're starting to love unreceived, but you're starting to realize that your love is received, but love is associated to sound like yuck. And for the first time, there's a part of you that is learning to feel a different energy code with your mom. And that development has actually helped you to not get hurt by the prickly pear relationship that she normally has with people. You're not as petrified by it because there's a part of you that is actually hopeful And you don't have to go into that automatic response of overwhelm. And I want to say kudos on a good job of taking care of your mother. She's been applying the source points, the hope therapy, and the different types of healing. So good job. Good night, Betty. Jennifer Wall, I believe, was her name. Okay, next one.
Carla.
Carla. All right. I'm just looking at the mirror, but the part is that you're faded in the mirror. And I'm like, why are you faded in the mirror? Why? And there's this stored energy. It's an auto response of fear of when you were 2 years old. Now, one that you're going to remember, they said, is when you were 9, and had to do with whether you're compatible or not compatible with people. They said that if you could look at the words wishy-washy, whether you see people do it or you do it or whatever, they said they want you to look at the word wishy-washy, define it, kind of observe it and see what happens. Because somehow it's hooked into, that's the response to when the fear of judgment comes into play. So that's what's very important is the action. I want to say it's a reaction, but it's the action that you took to survive those particular moments, because somehow you became very displaced on certain energies when certain energies were overwhelming. Okay, next.
Amber Patrick.
Amber. Fighting myself. I'm fighting myself. I am important. And then you have been addicted to certain behaviors that you don't want to change. And they said in this case, that's how lofty energy comes in. Because the chemical peptides is the emotions inside that has to do with addiction, there is this energy cords out and brings people that are lofty to you. You got to change that, Amber. The reason that is because it's part of the identity of your 3-year-old. And what happens, okay, so we got to learn how to change your attraction factor. When you were growing up, you saw that. So that's going to be stuck in your attraction factor. So when you're getting to meet people, you're like, oh, isn't he cute? And then the ugliness will show up afterwards. But you don't realize you're connecting with certain features of long ago. So you're changing the way your heart attracts in people. So like with Vicky, where you're at in the relationships is that you're going to keep attracting in what you know. And the more you begin to know yourself, the more you're like, I don't have to attract in. Oh, wait, I don't have to attract that in. I need to change my attraction factor altogether. And in this case, Vicky would need to dive into getting rid of people that criticize, because somehow it's a turn on. You just don't know it yet. I'm not going to give you that response, Amy. Or Amy, I mean, Vicky, I'm not going to give you the response. Oh, good Lord, apparently I did. Anyway, Amber, yes, exactly. Thank you, Brittany. I appreciate that. Brittany H., thank you. So, who's next?
Vicky.
Oh, well, that's okay. I went right into Vicky's. Well, let's just finish this out, Miss Vicky. The criticism has an overbearing behavior, but that's where the jokes come from. That's kind of like inspires you. So it's like, why should I give this up? Because this is what makes me, fuck no. Okay, literally have to change out that attraction factor. Because, I mean, literally, it'll turn you on and go twang. You're like, oh, isn't he cute? Not realizing it. So I should dump all you people? No. No, what you do is that whoever, let's say you're attracted to so-and-so, I kept trying to figure out why am I always hooked up to people that mean to me. And when I started to realize it was a negative mental attitude, that I grew up with in my household. And that's what I thought was familiar. That's what people are. That's what relationships are. As I never had another sparring partner that of love and relationship, I had no idea what that looked like. So I didn't know Alan existed for me until I started to notice I keep hooking my energy up to these people. Why? Because that's all I know. And when I started to take the feeling of how that's what I know, and love equals this, and love equals that. And when I started to remove those conditionings and how my love's going to get separated if I don't show up as somebody that's subservient. Love is going to be broken. I'm not going to be respected, accepted, or loved. So it's like I tried to make amends with this one girl, this woman that tried to take my kids away, and in my life, and I'm looking at her going, I'm respecting her. Why don't I have the respect back? Spirit says, you have to take that deeper. Who is she? Who does she remind me of? Patterns, yes. And it was, oh. And they said, now look, love equals that. And I want love, so I have to take that. Oh, hell no. What do I need to do? Notice how the feeling of love is connected to that. So literally I had to look at it and heal out the feelings, the emotions, the sensations, the warpness, and the conditions started to break away. And when that happened, it lined me up more aligned. That's why I said, when you get this age, when you want to date, it's about interviews. Next, it's not that you're being cold. It's because when you're hooking up to with people and you're thinking, oh, this could be the one, it is a need that you fulfill. I need to be needed. I need to be loved. I need to be wanted. And it's that love that you want to fill. But the problem is, if you fall that you have to long, desperate, yearn, pine, then you're going to hook yourself up with the wrong boat. If you feel that, I really want this love, okay, I recognize, and it's familiar, that he does this. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's why if you're lonely, don't go back to what you know. And X is an X for a reason. You have to heal your shit. That's that longing, that's that loneliness. You heal that out. When I began to notice that I didn't want alcoholics in my life, I didn't have a tool. But now that I have tools, it's like I heal out how I long for relationship and what I know is familiar. I healed what's familiar. Now it's a memory. Yes, I had that in my life, but I don't have to have it in my life. I don't have to become I am not going to be that. So I healed the knots out. As I changed the frequency, it changed the patterns and the perceptions. And then lined me up to something better. So you don't want it worse than the first, and you don't want to overcome, because the roots are still going to be there and you're going to still have to see it. You don't want to just run from your issues. You heal your shit and then you're like, red flag, I'm out of here. You know what? I don't have to do this again. It's a power of choice. Aha. Now, again, if you don't begin to heal a lot of these things and you don't begin to see these things, then you're going to keep making hiccups. And that's okay, but that's why I'm here. And that's why we created the tribal group. That's why we created the academy. That's why, so that you don't have to keep going in and getting, smacking your head against the wall and or the window. Well, I'm doing this. And yes, you will begin to understand and you'll begin to heal your shit. Yes. Hey. Yes. What?
Hilly.
Pilly, pilly, pilly. She's so pretty. That's a mama. She's so pretty. Okay, anyways, pilly, pilly, pilly. What is she doing habitual? She's addicted to what? Being indecisive? She's trying, she's not doing, you're saying, to be happy. So what is she's trying to be happy. What is she actually hooked to and doing? Happy equals self-imposed strategy. So it's still ruled by ego? Yes. What's this? Is that about her? So every time she expands herself, she attracts dickheads in that that puff her up and do false self-assuredness. And then they turn around and blame it on you. How interesting. I think that story was you. The flash was very clear. You were at a party and all he did was pay attention to himself. No matter what you said, screw you. It's all your fault, blah, blah, blah. And then he was a dickhead beyond belief. If that's the case, then we have to understand why you're hooked up to that and unhook it. Vicky says, yep, pretty much that's my plan. Oh, I like him. Run! Oh, I'm bored to tears. Soulmate. Oh, you have to. Oh, I love Vicky's humor.
Oh, yeah.
So,
David.
David. Sweet cheeks. I don't know if she gave you a nickname, but she just wanted to. Yeah, that's my face. She's like, nah, he'll feel it. That's funny. Okay. David, what do you mean wrong page? You want me to go deeper in my book? She's been looking through my files. What page do you like? That one. Your throat chakra, honey. Learning to take in and assimilate. She says, you've been choking on your words lately. Whose reading is this? He knows me. Yes. Was there a saying that she would say, don't throw pearls before the swine, or it was something, we'll just watch it on TV. There's a small reference somewhere. You can feel it. Because she says within the mental energy, she's just pointing every word, there's life. Oh, now she's got me just curious. Who are you going at?
He's the last one, so.
He's the last one. Okay. Health. His physical health is within the wisdom. Yes. So he needs to expand his voice, get out of his little turtle shell, interconnect with other humans, and feel the quantity of the fear and release it. She says, do spell number, blah, blah, blah. I can't hear the number. Okay. Can I translate it my way? Okay, so stop using self-justification of why you won't let me see you, why other people can't see you, she says there's a greatness that's within inside of you. But there's excuses and reasonings and they mull over, and what happens is it shuts you down. When it shuts you down, you're not able to do that next part. And you can feel like there is a part of you that's meant to do something, but at the same time, you're like, no. And who are you? There's a male friend over here, and he says he's got paranoia. Do you have paranoia? Did you say David?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, Dale's wife came through to talk to David. Didn't think it sounded right.
Wow.
So Dale, you were getting a message from your wife. David was supposed to get that message in another way. Why is that happening? That's bizarre.
More new light codes turn on?
What's David's last name there?
Gotta go back to.
Does it start with an H? Because That's never happened. That's very usually, that's usually very much divided. David has a male friend here, and she was stepping in, but the signature of the two gentlemen, that's bizarre. How is that happening? I mean, I know how that's happening. Why is it happening? Can either of you tell me? You? Okay, so we're all expanding our consciousness and then they're overriding on one. So you're talking about like one reality on top of another reality? Well, what made this two connect? The synchronicities of signatures? Chakras. Gotcha. Interesting. So Dale says, and one would think she would carry on. She was a teacher. And you're like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Now, again, Dale, you did have a reading. 2, there's like one reality on top of another reality. It's these dimensionals that are happening. What was David's at last, started with last name?
Well, the email is Davidson Hour 367.
Okay. I'm going to redo that one alone and see if I can come through another avenue. So David, not sure what your last name is, but you emailed.
Lightworker of the Truth is what.
Lightworker of the Truth. David, Lightworker of the Truth. Okay, so that is where I'm going to aim. That's bizarre. Okay, no big deal. That's rather interesting. Okay. We'll just start again. Energy loss. There is an energy loss. Something about you lost hope and confidence about something. It's part of your identity. Take me back to a summertime. I think about when you're 6 years old, and I don't know if you had a growth spurt or not, but it's actually created arrested development. There was something about your height, something about, but it was like felt lack. There's something that lacked. And you've started obsessing about something that caused you to end up having some apathy towards yourself or about doing something. And that is where the energy keeps going, is into the apathy. And so you'll contract your energy. So when you are looking up what apathy means, because Spirit is saying it's very important that you do look at this one, is lack of interest, lack of enthusiasm, or lack of concern. So you have to, what did you obsess about? Because somehow, was it in the obsessing? It was when you obsessed, you didn't know how to stop the obsession. Usually this is where if you have something bad, you know how to stop the obsession. So you'll end up, see my voice is crackling only because I can feel all of my body's physiology starting to change, which creates like an anxiety or a depression or a response. It's like you have to bark at the world because no amount of saying what you want to say is going to shut people up. I can't speak my truth. So therefore, in a way, I've got like to hold my tongue. Okay. I just learned something new today. But anyway. Wow. That's interesting. Okay, so Amy. The muddled instability that happens to happen inside of you is this anguish about procrastinating. You're like, I don't want to go there. So you do drop into self-pity. And it's such the way that your manners are speaking is that it's like when I say flippant, you have no clue that the thinking is just like if you said it out loud. And it literally locks you back into the program. So become aware. Become aware of what you say toward yourself. Because you're saying, if I do this, if I do that, then love's unreceived. If I have love that's unreceived, then I got to say this and say that so I can feel like it's, I'm still good. I'm still okay. And that's how you cope. And deep down, were you a bashful child deep down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you kind of got rid of that in order to survive. And you have to feel with your heart, L1D, how much there was insecurity and how much they hated your bashfulness, or you hated. But somehow it was that the feeling of being rejected and hated that caused you to not take on who you really wanted to be, but what was safe to be. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Teresa Smith. Let's just do her real quick. Let's see, Teresa Smith. There is an upside down feeling. I wanted to say up and down feeling, but they said upside down feeling. And so the triple warmer wants to go. So your body feels like it's got to put itself into survival mode. But because there's a certain amount of disapproval that your right temporal lobe thinks what other people think. So it goes out and thinks that people disapprove of you. You can even gather proof, but it's about wanting to have your voice. And your voice is being communicated to the wrong crowd. Sometimes you need to line up that with somebody that's better with your voice, your truth, and where you're going. You're not supposed to teach the masses of those people's. Oh, yeah, we did Pilly. What's her timestamp? And then dear friend, or your friend. What about your friend?
2:43, Tilly.
2:43. So your friend, what about your friend? Well, it's interesting. I feel like you thought you had friends or whatever, and then it's like there's a shock. They're saying, oh my God, OMG. And it's like you have to stay in a certain frequency, Teresa, that says, and you don't live there anymore. You're like, oh, I don't want this trauma or drama. I don't want this stuff. So you're learning to wake up and you're saying, I don't want to be that. So you're ready to become something more. Okay, you guys are great. And remember to hit the love button or share so that randomly Spirit throws out cards to just because of love or whatever you may need it. Spirit likes to do that. And we thank you for being with us. Anybody that's paid today, we'll double check. Your name will go into the hat. Oh, yes, that's Brittany. Okay, Brittany said she did that. Okay, so, so the hat goes, the name goes in the hat to win the 50-minute. Anytime you decide you want to pay for to be on the show, to do the reading, then what happens is that your name goes into the hope chest to be able to have a chance to win 15 minutes with me. So we gather all of the names throughout the month of May, and then in the beginning of June, we will be doing the readings. If you want more of this, the teachings, how to evolve, how to live in a spiritual mindset versus an ego mindset world, then you can help by joining up with the tribal, the Medicine Woman Solution Tribal Unit. That's a paid membership that will get you in, and then you can have the particular 5 things I give, plus the interns, and we all talk. If you got questions, we're developing and growing and learning how to become this tribal unit. Okay. Let's see what else. And tomorrow, yes, we are having class tomorrow, interns. So I'm going to see if I can try to find that movie to play so that you guys can learn more about what is pimping and prostituting with the archetypes. And so that you can start to notice even deeper into how it happens in your world. Let's just say thank you, Spirit, for the manifestation of the movie. Okay, so you might want to make popcorn before the show. I'll let you know. Hopefully I'll find it. Vicky says the tribal union is fun and educational. Yes, and yeah, well, and here's some people say, well, I have to get approved of what I write. Well, that's fine. But see, I also don't, I approve it. I am the one that wants to make sure that I can help address it first, because when it gets lost in the thing, sometimes I can't find it. And I know someone's answered or somebody's got a question. So if I see it and then I give approval, then we can all learn to grow together. Now, if you have put it up a while back, you may want to contact and say, did my question get approved of? Or hopefully my interns can tell me, did anybody approve of that? So, it has to be in the alignment of what it is the teachings are. And there is a glossary of words that you can learn that really will be part of your language so that you can begin to wake up further, like running to the end of your timeline. Let's see if anybody remembers that. I'd like to look in the tribal unit and see if anybody's answered that. I may have to put that question up. Because I'd want to share the glossary, but not everybody's going to look at it. So we have to rest it. And we got to communicate, and we got to bring it to the surface so that your brain can predict better.
Mhm.
All right, you guys are great. I will see you either in the tribe, in class, which is the academy, or we will see you next time on the show, which is Sunday for you or Monday for Australia.
Mhm.
So, resolve to evolve.
Heal instead of deal.
You can heal that. Feel to heal.
Feel it to heal it.
And stay blessed.
Stay blessed. Yes, Vicki, the meditation is up in the
Oh, yes, it is. It is. It wouldn't. You know what's funny is I put that meditation up, and then it says, "Oh, it wasn't accepted for whatever reason."
it's
Oh,
up twice now.
Huh?
It's up twice.
Yeah. Let me. That's what I'm trying to explain. It says it was rejected. It wasn't approved by Facebook. I'm like, what? Fine. I went out, went into a whole nother thing, started to break it up, so that because maybe they were complaining about the length or whatever, and so I put it up again, and then it wasn't until that evening that I see somebody says, "Oh, yay!" I can't remember if it was Brittany or somebody says, "Hey, look, it's up." I'm like, "It's up."
What?
And then I looked, the second one wasn't there. And I said, no, okay, but that's the full one, not the, I said, so I was so confused. And then now you finally confirmed that the second one's up. So now I can take the other one down. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Talk about
And
life.
I've noticed lately that when you post the YouTube,
Mhm.
there's always two. I get notified twice. I don't know. I haven't really delved
Remember,
into it.
do you have 2 accounts on YouTube?
No.
Okay, because I know the Amy pictures. Hey, that helps. If you guys want to go over and become a YouTube fan and start thumbs upping, and maybe you can leave in a comment. That really helps. Some people, just saying again, some people, if they need, they can give back, that would be helpful. All right. Well, our spirit's going to rise, that's for sure. And if we could heal that, Dale, about how we're censored going in and heal that, then guess what? We can line up with the new Zuckerberg in the dimension.
Yes.
Okay. Trust me, it's weird, but you can. All right. Yay, Tammy Ann's on YouTube. Good. Okay. Bye. And now we will stop this one.